Let's see who tunes on in. Dan Harsman, first one in the room, and Travis Weeks, hello. Good to see you. Dindin and Phyllis, welcome. Sebastian Caveira, welcome. And Miss Cecilia Thomas, good to see you. Boss F51, welcome. And Nadine Smith, welcome. Jay Chulo, welcome. And Claudio, welcome. Welcome to 14th Street, Prospect Park West. We're in Brooklyn today. Let's wait for 50 people to tune in and then we'll activate the legs. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing great. Scott Chrysler, good to see you, Scott. Welcome, good afternoon. Land Rover 1965, good to see you. Yuri Olivos, welcome. Michelle K, welcome. Good to see you, Michelle K. Good to see you. Bagels and Walks, welcome on this cloudy day. Got my umbrella at the ready just in case. Everyone follow Bagels and Walks. Great live stream from the Upper East Side. Hope you're doing well, Sean. Hope you and the family are doing well. Good to see you, Jack Spencer. Welcome, and Robert T. Good to see you. Stitching with Sue is checking on in out there in Pennsylvania. America starts here. Good to see you there, Sue. Welcome. What's the smoke situation? Well, we're just above 100 right now, Claudio. So you could definitely, it's definitely a change from yesterday, and definitely from Saturday. So it's definitely back, but not as bad as it was on Wednesday. But what's the plan for today? No plan for today, Scott. Maybe just end up down by the waterfront. We'll walk through Brooklyn today. That's it. No special plan today. Travis Weeks, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing well on this Monday. We got 51 people in the room. Senor Rosa, Buenvenidos, and Rouge Jones, good to see you. Shall we activate the feet? Let's activate them. We got 54 people in the room. Good to see everyone. Hope everyone is having a great Monday. This broadcast brought to you by all the channel members. Thanks to the channel members, this broadcast is brought to us in stunning 1080p. Thank you so much to all of the channel members. 15th Street, 14th Street, Prospect Park West. Gonna enter the park. Yes, indeed. Good to see you, Sally Silko. Welcome. And good to see you, Mark. Let's wander, let's saunter through the park. Let's go through the country and then into the city. Let's do it. Will it rain? Stay tuned to find out. Good to see you, Theory Mary. Welcome. I've been trying to get a moving map to work for you guys. Kind of stumbled upon a website where I could configure a moving map. And I think I'm like 2/3 the way there. But I just can't. Anyway, in the future, in the very near future, there will be a moving map. And it's going to be cool. But I spent all morning and a good chunk of yesterday trying to get this to work. And sorry about yesterday. I was supposed to cover the Brooklyn Puerto Rican parade, but feeling just a little bit under the weather yesterday. I'm feeling better today. Kind of took a day for myself, just me and my wife. Rode the Wonder Wheel. It was beautiful. No sunset yesterday. I was hoping for a sunset yesterday. Good to see you, Susan. Welcome. I appreciate that, Sally. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You don't have to be a channel member, though. Just hit that like button. That's all you really got to do. It's all about that like ratio. Good to see you, Ruthie. Welcome. Welcome to Prospect Park. I always say, the best way to contribute to the channel is always hit that thumbs up. Kind of chilling here in the park right now. It's nice. Cycling's pretty popular right here. Ethan G, rainy season in Florida. Well, Ethan, do me a favor, please stay dry down here in Florida. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that, Sally. But yes, if you're watching in Florida, please stay dry, stay undercover. Just watch my old replays. How about that? Just binge watch Dutch Moz. That'll be the best thing to do during the rainy season in the sunshine state of Florida. Oh my God, Mark, like a week and a half or 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. Fireworks Fridays commence. Our tradition on this channel. Rather active here. So it got a little dip, little downhill here before you go a little bit up again, and then you go down a really nice hill if you're riding here in Prospect Park. So a big nice downhill coming up just ahead. Guess there's a running party happening. But yeah, just a few weeks, a few more days. Mermaid Parade coming up. Everything quickly solidifying for Mermaid Parade. I'm very happy to report that there will be a donation link where you could donate directly to Coney Island, USA for our Mermaid Parade. So that's going to be nice. Good to see you, Michelle King. Welcome. And I will implore everyone to, so if they do donate during the Mermaid Parade stream, donate directly to Coney Island, USA and keep the Mermaid Parade going. We should be live on Saturday at 12 noon. So beginning at 12 noon until the sea is officially open, the opening of the sea, the opening of the summer season. We'll see the ceremony. So it should be fun. Cliff Padilla, welcome. It should be a lot of fun. With all of our friends, by the way. We know half of the people that are going to be in the parade. And yes, cannot wait to see my own wife. I'll probably got to go crazy when my wife comes around. Just a heads up. She'll be in the parade too. So looking forward to it. But good to see you, Cliff. Checked out some footage of the 86th Street Festival that happened yesterday. It was okay. Wish there was a little bit of music. Good to see you, Steve Cruz. Good afternoon. Father's Day is on Sunday. Yes, it is. Father's Day Sunday coming up. So I hope everyone has a great Father's Day. We're now right next to Lookout Hill, up to my left-hand side. Lookout Hill, the third tallest natural point of land in the borough of Brooklyn. Now see, this is a little dangerous area to ride against the flow here, because this is a big downhill right here. If you ever ride a bike in Prospect Park, this is probably the funnest part, is right here. You go down a hill, then at the bottom of the hill is Prospect Park Lake, or Lake Prospect Park, whichever way you want to say it. I remember I was like barely 13 and I rode this for the first time. It was a lot of fun. Very memorable experience. There's always people dressed in cat crab costumes on the parade, Cliff. Everything is so lush. Yeah, the roses are bloomed. All right. Gotta get to the... You just reminded me, Bagels and Walks. I gotta get to one of the botanical gardens this week. It is rose season. And we have to sing Only a Rose to the roses. Good to see you, Neil. Not that far. Out here in Flatbush. Welcome. Kind of looking in the direction of Flatbush right now. Walking kind of south right now. And actually, this is not Lookout Hill. That's Lookout Hill. Straight ahead. The third highest natural part of land in the borough of Brooklyn. Good to see you, Gregory Kelly. Me and the Duchess are doing well. You'll see the Duchess on the Mermaid Parade. Have a little idea of her costume, and I'm very excited. Oh, that's awesome, Cliff. I used to have flowers in front of our building, but cheap corporate landlords ruined that. Back in the day, the front of my apartment building had these beautiful hedges. And yeah, like white roses will be sometimes planted in them. Miss that tremendously. But everything is so lush and green. I mean, yeah, all the rain and everything. And there is more rain scheduled for later on this afternoon. Everything is really lush. Everything's just really nice. Привет, привет. Good to see you. Welcome. Good Monday from Barcelona. Good to see you, Frank. Welcome. Hope you're having a great Monday out there in Barcelona. Bienvenidos, Barcelona. Madam Mojo is checking on in Cleveland. Cleveland rocks, Madam Mojo. Yeah, I hope so too, Sean. I hope it does clear out. We just need a good rain before the Mermaid Parade. Just one good day of just a lot of rain. Good to see you, Darlene. Welcome. Prospect Park opened up in 1865, 1867 about. Prospect Park, smaller than Central Park, but has more trees at 7,000 trees. Here's the breakdown. Prospect Park not even coming into the top 10 of parks with acreage here in the 5 boroughs. But there is something in the middle of the park that does predate the park, and that's the Friends Cemetery. Friends Cemetery was created in 1849. And a very famous person is buried there, and that is actor Montgomery Clift. Let's see if we can see this Quaker cemetery here. They actually cleared out a lot of underbrush here. Did they create a new pathway? This is like a whole open area that I have never seen before. Gregory, I did not work this morning. I don't usually do my tour on Mondays, so I did not work my tour this morning. You can just see the cemetery right over here. It is still private. Private land completely surrounded by Prospect Park. But actor Montgomery Clift is buried there. But this is my first time actually seeing this whole area opened up here. This is quite interesting. Wow, it's pretty cool. Good to see you there, Activity 79, welcome. It is the best park because it's in Brooklyn, but I think it's the best park because you see how like we could just like hop off the road here and then boom, we're in like dense forest. It's so cool. Dave Jeffries in Niagara Falls, good to see you. And Sandra Ann Longfield's checking on in from the United Kingdom. Colleen's checking on in out there in Cyprus. Good to see you, Colleen. Good to see everybody, people. Here's the gate. Here's the gate to the cemetery. Oh, found a squirrel. So here it is. Here's the Friends Cemetery. And this goes way back. So, established in 1849. Not open to the public. But here is the acreage. Prospect Park is only, what is it there? 526 acres, as opposed to Central Park's 843 acres. But there's a top 10 right there. Good to see you, Sunshine After the Rain in New Mexico. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. There it is. Friends Cemetery here in the middle of Prospect Park. And I have actually never been in there. I've always known about it, especially since when I started learning my history. So Lookout Hill right over here, the third highest natural glaze of land in the whole city. Good to see you, Darlene. Good to see everybody, people. Just saunter through here today. At least we have a little bit of a breeze. The more sunlight we get, will increase the chance for rain showers. The atmosphere today a little bit unstable. No doubt that will play into effect the rain chances. Is this Central Park? No, we're in Prospect Park. We're in Prospect Park. Have I done a video at Pelham Bay Park? No, I have not. No, I have not. Problem with Pelham Bay Park is I tried to do a live stream on Periscope many years ago in Pelham Bay Park, and the big issue back then was signal. I shouldn't have that problem with signal today, like nowadays, but back then I couldn't get a proper signal in the middle of Pelham Bay Park. There was like some cool art thing, 2016, 2017, and I went to go live stream that on Periscope. So, but I'll have to try again. I will have to try again. Chilla D, and good to see you. Smoke them if you got them. Hope you're doing well. Jeanette Trainer, good to see you out there in Glasgow. Absolutely, Prospect Park, way more quiet than Central Park. Way more quiet. Even when we get to the more populated areas here in the park, it's still going to be way more quieter here than in Central Park. Nice little breeze. The breeze feels great. It's humid. It's getting humid out here today, so humid day here in Brooklyn. But we're keeping it in Brooklyn today. Prospect Park we start out at. Brooklyn's Central Park. Designed by the two same architects who designed Central Park, Frederick Lahr Olmsted, Calvert Vaux. Now, at this point of many year collaborations, Olmsted and Vaux didn't exactly get along by the time they were creating Prospect Park, and they barely got together in person to create Prospect Park. It was all through correspondence and stuff. The Hall & Oates of landscape architecture were breaking up, and this will be their last great work. Good to see you, Katetewe. Sorry I mispronounced that. In Washington, D.C. Welcome. Yeah, kind of a gloomy Monday, right? Yeah, that's the kind of mood I get when I left the house today. So yeah, little gloomy Monday. Nebul Buenvenu. Gregory Kelly asks, do I take the bus or the subway to the park from where I live? So Gregory, today I took the subway, but sometimes when I commute into Manhattan in the early morning, I use like an express bus. Nebul Buenvenu. Everyone follow Nebul, a great live streamer from the south of France. Always bringing us the best from the south of France. Everyone give him a follow. Live usually most Sundays as we walk through the Nethermead here in Prospect Park. Yeah, Din, good to see you out there in Trinidad. And yeah, it might rain here too. It's actually very tropical. The air is very tropical today here in the city. So if it does rain, I do have an umbrella. So if anyone asks, do you have an umbrella? You can just say, yes, Dutch has an umbrella. Inside joke for the first people who watch the first 20 minutes of the live stream. Welcome on into the show, everybody. But it's warming up. I think we're gonna get a few more degrees warmer today. Good to see you, Diana Lee, out there in London. Welcome. So we're at the top of the naturalistic amphitheater that is the Nethermead here. Straight down there is the Music Pagoda, and we're going to see that. We're actually going to make a loop through the park here, but the Music Pagoda is down there, and that's where all the music emanates from, and then everyone has their picnics all right here while they listen to the bands and their music waft through the air. I love Prospect Park. There's nobody out here right now. Very few people are out here. It's wonderful. There seems to be some kind of art installation over there. Let's see what that is. Let's see what that is. Curiosity's got to kill the cat, and I'm going to walk over there. What is this? Let's see. Just random pictures of people. Oh no. I think I know what this is. I think I know what this is. If I think I know what this is gonna be a little sad. Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know this was even here. Oh man, this is kind of sad. So, Matthew Leo Brunner, he was unfortunately killed crossing the street coming into Prospect Park a few years back. And this red maple tree is planted in his honor. These are some pictures of him. Sad story. Now Prospect Park West, near 9th Street, this is where he was killed. A lot safer now, been configured a certain way, but wow, I didn't know this was here. Wow. Gotta take advantage, everyone. Good to see you, Margie Blah. Welcome. Gotta take advantage, everybody. Did you wake up this morning? Do you got clean drinking water? You're ahead of the game of about 1 billion people. Enjoy it. Oh, look at this. A turtle. Turtle's right here. Good to see you, RJ, out there in Colorado. Welcome. Oh, a little turtle here. I've never seen a turtle all the way over here. Wow, okay. He's just hanging out. Thought that was a rock. I thought you were a rock, Mr. Turtle. He's getting nervous. I'm giving him or her its space. Right? Is she laying eggs, Be the Traveler? I think you're right. Oh. There you go. If anyone asks, did we see turtles today? Saw a turtle possibly laying eggs. Burrows for babies? I think it does. I'll give the turtle its space. I have to give the turtle its space. I'll see you later, Activity 79. Don't work too hard, man. George Rucker, welcome to the show. It's Nature with Dutch. Jimator Day, welcome. So welcome to Prospect Park here in the middle of Brooklyn. Yeah, bagels and walks, absolutely. I'm definitely touched by it because I know the story, and there was some stuff that happened after that kind of annoyed me about that story. And the big one was there was evidently a woman in the neighborhood by where the there was an impromptu memorial set up, which I think there still is. And it featured balloons and stuffed animals and kind of toys and stuff like that, and pictures. And there was a woman in the neighborhood who like ripped it all down because she didn't want to see a memorial there. It was like ruining the park. And I remember like how cold do you have to be? Somebody just lost their child, their brother, and here you are tearing down a very small memorial for the child. That's the only reason why I remember it, and I hate that that's the reason why I remember it. Unfortunately, because of that tragedy, only after did the street get a lot safer. So now we have like a separated bike lane, 2 ways on that street. The traffic has definitely been calmed down to how fast it was back in the day. And yeah, completely heartless. It was sad, very awful. Put everything into perspective. Puts everything into perspective. That's why you got to enjoy. Another tragedy happens right here on this hill. Right here. This is where the Maryland 300 holds off the British troops during the Revolutionary War. And coming into view in a moment here, you get to see a monument to that. Many men died on this hill here during the Revolutionary War, August 26th, 27th, 1776. But these guys sacrificed their lives for us. So let's make our way up there. There's nobody hanging out up there right now, so let's take advantage, and I'll show you guys the Maryland 400 monument. Or 300. I always forget it's 300 or 400. We'll find out when we get up there. Of course, during the winter time, this is where we walk always when it snows, and this is where everyone sleds here. This is probably one of the best hills to go sledding, is in this area right here. Alibaba, good to see you. Welcome. Oh, absolutely, Cliff, all over, all over. I mean, there is a project where it's called the Ghost Bike Project, and where cyclists, pedestrians, to show where they were killed, they put up a simple white painted bike with a sign. So there's a lot of those memorials around the city. The bird sounds are lovely. But here it is. Now, back in the day when photography first came into being, everybody had to have their picture next to this. This was like a big deal. And the Maryland 400, August 27, 1776, saved the American Army. This monument here was erected in 1895. But it's such a cool little bit of history. It's just hanging out here in the park. Good to see you, boss. Cool monument, right? Here's an actual quote from George Washington himself. "Good God, what brave fellows I must lose this day." I must this day lose, actually. That's the dyslexia, everybody, in real time. But there you go. Pretty cool monument. It all happened literally right here. When people first visited Prospect Park, when it opened, they wanted to see these Revolutionary War sites. It was more like a Revolutionary War kind of deal, where you walk it around and you could kind of recreate the real couple of days of real heavy fighting. All happens right here. And pretty much the only reason why Prospect Park is even here, it's not in the sense of like where for Manhattan, Central Park was kind of a way to affect a lot of real estate quickly and improve the value of it, create a millionaires row and whatnot. Here in Prospect Park, it's kind of, this is the edge of the city in 1855. So this is where you have the most land available. And Prospect Park had many different shapes and scenarios when it came into being. But this was kind of like your green front door to the city. So you have to the south and to the east, you have the suburbs, if you will. And then you had a trolley commute, took the trolley into town. But through that front door, Prospect Park is your front door. So you get to, in a sense, give yourself a little adventure and travel through the forest on your way to work. It's pretty cool. We're gonna go down to the lake, show you the lake, and then we'll make our way across the park. You're more than welcome, Gregory. More historical sites to come as we make our way around the park, and then we're gonna make our way into, I think we're gonna do Park Slope today. We haven't done a walk through Park Slope in a while, so I think we'll do a little bit of Park Slope after this. Good to see you, Ramona, welcome. Gonna do my best to steer completely clear of the children. There you go. Good to see you there, Indians. Welcome. Automobile traffic banished from the park many years ago. And yes, Stindon, this is a man-made lake. This is a man-made lake. Completely. Not real. I think it was in the 90s. They drained the whole thing and they found 2 cars in there. I think it was at the late 90s. It's like a big sink. Good to see you, Ed Allen. Welcome. But it is quite deep. I think it gets like to like almost 25 feet deep in some of its deepest areas there. Good to see you, Brett. You're more than welcome. Good to see you. Welcome on into the show. Coming up to Prospect Park Lake, or Lake Prospect Park. I've seen maps call it both names. And we'll see the view where the alligator was found or captured. There was a emaciated alligator that was found right here in Prospect Park a few months back. Unfortunately, the alligator was not in good shape, and it soon, a couple of weeks later, died in the Bronx Zoo. Kind of sad. Somebody had that like in their bathroom for years, but I think that thing was huge. No, not a lot of people around. Yeah, Sean, it is a sad story. I mean, why would you have an alligator in a bathroom there? Do I give many tours of Prospect Park? No, I don't, Gregory. No, I don't. Actually, the last person I gave a tour to Prospect Park was Ramona. And me and Ramona, we got our steps in. We got our steps in, needless to say. But I showed Ramona, oh, I think we missed just one landmark here in the park. But not too often. And from Great Britain, Brett M. with a £5 super chat. Brett, thank you so much for the very generous £5 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's £5 Club. Much, much, much appreciated, Brett. Thanks for sponsoring the live stream. Brett just bought my subway fare to and from Coney Island. So thank you so much, Brett, with the big £5 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. Yeah, Ramona definitely got her steps in. Yes, she did. Yeah. It's easy to get a lot of steps in here. So it is very easy to get your steps in here in the Great Prospect Park. And he's like, this is the southern section. Just beyond that line of trees is the parade grounds, which is just basically a big field divided into some soccer fields, baseball diamonds, tennis courts, all on the other side of that line of trees. A beautiful breeze, Diana, beautiful breeze shaping up right now. Gregory Kelly asks, remember that guy in Harlem who had a full-grown tiger and alligator in his apartment? It was astounding. It was absolutely astounding, Gregory. I do remember that. And Jack Spencer with a $2 super chat. Jack Spencer, thank you so much for the very generous $2 super chat. Thanks for joining today's $2 club. Much, 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 much appreciated there. Much, much, much appreciated, Jack. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's live stream. Brett, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's live stream. Really do appreciate it, guys. As we're here, Lake Prospect Park. And actually, it's right here, basically right here. Literally right here, the alligator was found. Right here by the well house, which is a bathroom. Right here. Good to see you, Strawberry Fields. Welcome. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of follow this body of water now, and we're going to go back into the park. We're going to go up and over the well house drive, and then we're going to go into the lull water. So you have the ravine, the bin water, the lull water, which is right here, and then that empties out into the lake. The lake is the bottom part of the park. This park is built into the natural glacier ridge of Long Island, the terminal moraine. So this is like a kind of a 3-tiered park. So now we're on the bottom tier. We're going to go up to the second and third tier as we make our way towards Grand Army Plaza. So let's do it. Well, this is over here. This is the peninsula. And then on the other side of the peninsula, on the other side of the lull water, is the Lafrac ice skating rink. And we're not going to go off in that direction today because we're going to take the Well House Drive, kind of like a highway, take it across like an expressway or a main road. That's crazy, Strawberry. We all have those loud neighbors. The building management company that runs my building lovingly puts neighbors above us that make a lot of noise. So it's a way of life here in New York City. Do they have gorillas up there, you'll ask? Yes, sometimes they do. It is beautiful out here, Diana. Beautiful day. Now we're going to take the Well House Drive across the park, kind of to the eastern side. Prospect Park's a weird shape, so it's not a perfect rectangle. Kind of a trapezoid with bulges on the side. I've heard it called hexagonal once, and yeah, it's kind of hexagonal. Good to see you, Brian Bell. Welcome. Yes, they do, Coconut Telegraph. It's a beautiful thing. Good to see you. I remember when Nickelodeon Studios opened up back in 1989. Alligators ate three very loud Floridian children. They were all screaming they wanted to go to the Nickelodeon Studios. So the alligator was like, "I'm hungry." Anyway. Passing the Maryland 400 monument again. And now we came down this road through the forest, or through the woods right here. We're gonna follow the main road to the right-hand side and kind of cut across the park. We're gonna go over the lull water. Mary Lily, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well on this Monday. John Capola in Fort Myers, welcome. Good morning. Toronto Spots, good to see you. Yeah, Little Amal making her trip across Toronto the last few days. I'm happy you filmed the farewell. That's a beautiful thing. Little Amal is just so cool. She's going to be walking across the country in the coming weeks. So it's pretty exciting with the current weather conditions here in Brooklyn. It's partly cloudy. It's 74 degrees Fahrenheit with the wind blowing out of the southeast at 7 miles an hour. Relative humidity 71%. So yes, it's feeling a little bit humid out here. Feeling a little bit humid. But now we are walking over the low water, and here we're looking at the lake. Here the water splits up right here. It's like the peninsula is right here, but then like this kind of bows out inward here. But for the most part, this goes around. The lake is on the other side of that line of trees. And what we're doing is we're walking above, and you can't even tell that the body of water continues on up here. This is going towards the source, which is in that direction. So they do a good job of, like I said, the park has tiers. So we're moving up right now in the tiers. Absolutely strawberry. And if Amal comes back to New York, we will be saying hi to Amal. That is without a doubt. You got mornings, you got thunder here, third night running. Wow, yeah. Who's Little Amal? Boss, I have a playlist in my list of playlists. Amal is a tall puppet that represents a Syrian, an 8-year-old Syrian refugee. So check out the playlists. And we saw Amal on her journeys around New York City. And that was pretty cool. Robertson Lopez, good to see you. Yes, we are in what's quickly becoming a very hot and soupy Prospect Park. It has gotten very hot all of a sudden. But now we're kind of going up and down the glacier ridge right now, but it's going to kind of go on the other side of it. It is amazing how they built Prospect Park and really took advantage of the natural features. This used to be, right here, this used to be the main parking area for carriages. And the idea with this area is, as you see, you got the picnic tables here. The picnic tables are at the high point of the hill. You park your carriages around that, and you're on the high ground to enjoy the park. Down the hill over there is the Lafrac ice skating rink. Then off in this direction here is going to be the rest of the lull water and the ravine. We're walking towards the east side of the park, towards Lincoln Road entrance here. Good to see you, Robert. Welcome. But there's the playlist. Thank you so much, Strawberry Fields. There's a playlist of all of our encounters with Little Amal as she made her way across New York City. Didn't go to all events. There were 44 events. But it was fun seeing that. And I hope she returns to New York. I have a feeling she will. So it's just nice bringing awareness to an issue using like something artistic like puppets. How do I change my clock to Pacific Daylight Time? George, I have no idea. That's a Nightbot thing. Gotta have to search that on the internet. There you go. Thank you so much there, Toronto. Oh, absolutely, Brett. New York has a lot of open space. That's how us New Yorkers are able to manage living here. And there she is. Yo Ange is in the house. Everybody follow Yo Ange. She's a great live streamer from the Upper West Side. Follow Ange and Joe and their coffee-filled adventures all around New York City and beyond. Everyone follow Yo Ange. Ange, I hope you're having a great afternoon. It got humid and hot out here. What the hell? It's all hot and humid out here now. Getting some exercise here. I'm going to be hungry when I get home. Good to see you, Gus. Welcome. I have to say, though, doing all these goddamn live streams, I'm getting healthy. I'm sleeping like a baby and I'm healthy. Does Prospect Park have events like Central Park? Yes, we do, Gregory. Besides Celebrate Brooklyn, there's many other events that happen throughout the season. Check out the Prospect Park Alliance's website for more information. Who needs Doppler radar when you got Joe? That's right. Yeah, Nibble, you know, I have a feeling she's going to be in France too. Pineapple water. Good to see you, Pineapple. Welcome, welcome. That breeze is wonderful, I have to say. So this is the Lincoln Road entrance right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through. At the time, it was one of the world's largest continuous concrete pours. And we're going to go through this arch that was created in the, I believe, 1870s. But at the time, one of the world's longest continuous concrete pours. Let's first see the pagoda. Let's go see the pagoda, and then we'll go in through that arch. But yeah, what's up with the dang humidity? I know. It's like somebody turned on Florida. Now all we need is smoke. Now, there you go, Strawberry. Thank you so much for the information. Dave in Bangor, Maine. Good to see you, Dave. Hope you're doing well. Let's see this little newly restored pagoda here, and then we'll walk through that arch. This is such a cool piece of architecture here that I'm happy they restored. So off in that direction here, like off in this direction over there, is the Lafrac ice skating rink. And during summertime, it's a roller skating rink. Probably, Gregory, we had a warm summer, so I think it's going to be a very hot and humid summer. We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. Love this little window. Love this little skylight here. Oh, so nice. You can hear the train off in the distance. So nice here. Oh, Prospect Park, you're so awesome. All right, don't you love the paint, the colors? Just the carvings are so great. It's beautiful they restored this. They did a great job restoring all this. But the Lullwater and Music Island is right there, just beyond what used to be a fountain here, which hopefully is going to be restored into a fountain, is a statue of George Washington, sorry, of Abraham Lincoln, sorry. Abraham Lincoln's off in the distance over there. Let's say hi to Honest Abe from a distance. There he is. He's actually looking towards the Lullwater and Music Island, right there. Hopefully that fountain will be reactivated soon. But now we're gonna walk once again through the glacier moraine and into the main part of the Lullwater and the boathouse coming up next. But absolutely, Ange, cannot have said it better myself. Absolutely. We have to restore and preserve this heritage that we have here. Petra, good to see you, Petra, welcome. So now we're coming up to, at the time, one of the world's largest continuous concrete pours. This is really cool arch here. Reza Jafari, welcome, good to see you. I mean, this is, when I found out about the history of this thing, oh, and they got some, did he have art going on in here? Oh, there's somebody just playing music. The acoustics in here is so good. The Clef Ridge Arch. Oh, I love New York. That was such a moment. Now we're gonna walk over this lovely little bridge. Jeanette, actually, I came to Prospect Park a couple of times when I was like in elementary school. And I remember when I was in elementary school, this place seemed like a gajillion miles away. So probably the first time I visited Prospect Park was I was around maybe 6, 7 years old. But when I started riding a bike when I was 12, 13, I started coming to Prospect Park a lot. Like I mapped it out and I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. And then I used a paper map to just start going further and further away from my house. Next thing you know, I'm doing like 15-mile, 20-mile bike rides. I know the bridges do give great acoustic effects, but that's all concrete. That's a single concrete pour, creating an amazing arch. Brian Davis, good to see you. Welcome. Hope everyone's doing great. Welcome on into the show, Brian. Wandering Prospect Park at the moment. Really have no plan. At this point, I want to go through Park Slope, and then maybe make our way over to the Brooklyn Promenade to finish out. So this is the Lullwater. From this perspective here, the Lullwater is going down this way and making its way to Prospect Park Lake. And then right here is the boathouse, built I believe in 1895. And this is a historic landmark. Today this is the home of the Prospect Park Audubon Society, where you can learn about all the birds that call Prospect Park home. And what's a paper map? I used to have a Hagstrom map, Sean. He's had this Hagstrom map that you had to flip in order, because the whole city was in it. And I used a pencil and I started mapping myself out routes, and then I'll write down where the turn streets are on a piece of paper and use that to get around. And next thing you know, I'm going to like Queens. And I remember the first time I rode a bike to the Bronx, I was barely 13 years old. Like when I started coming to Prospect Park, in the months after, I started going further and further. Started going all the way up to Inwood, you know. Remember, there was no West Side bike path in the 90s, so I remember riding a bike up the West Side as a kid, and it was just all parking lots and sidewalk, and it was crazy dangerous, but it was fun. But absolutely, Brian, sometimes having no plan is the best plan. Pretty much, Ange, I was always like the tour guide of the family. So I was prepping myself at a young age. Living my dream. Living my dream. Angela Rainier, welcome. If I missed you, welcome on into the show. We're sauntering through Prospect Park. Here, the low water comes underneath. There's a waterfall over there that will, I don't know if it's running. Let's see if it's running. And then what we're gonna do now is pass the Music Pagoda and then start walking up the ravine. And we'll make our way to Grand Army Plaza. Let's see if this waterfall's active. I don't hear it. Let's see. Oh, it is on. It is on. Right here, guys. So now the low water starts pretty much right here. You have a waterfall here. Behind this waterfall is an S-shaped water body called the Binnenwater. And the Binnenwater goes into the ravine. So it's Turtle Pond at the very top. Then the ravine brings it down to the Binnenwater, brings it down to the lull water, and then to Lake Prospect Park. And at the source of all this water is a single pipe that's behind rocks. It's pretty amazing how this all works. And that pipe, again, fresh, is just New York City drinking water. But luckily, the ecology here of the park, you see a lot of algae here in the water. There is fish in this, like catfish and stuff like that in this. So there are fish in here. And the ecology of this enables turtles to live here, birds, all that green stuff, all that green goodness there keeps everything alive. Don, Tito, Raul, Patius, and Jessica, and Ray J Hawk out there in Houston. Good to see you guys out there in Houston. Wolfgang Productions, welcome. And if notifications don't work, it's kind of algorithmic, but unsubscribe, resubscribe. But you know what will really help? Just go to my old videos and just start liking old videos. That usually works. But good to see you, Wolfgang Productions. And Ray J and everyone out there in Houston. Very green indeed. Nebul wants to see the graphic. You got it, Nebul. Good to see you, Norm, out there in Bangor, Pennsylvania. Pelham Bay Park, the largest park at 2,765 acres. We were in Van Cortlandt Park a few weeks back. Prospect Park, a small 526 acres. People do fish here in Prospect Park. It's a catch and release. It's catch and release, so. It's fun learning about little things. It's fun learning about little things. Keeps it exciting. Now we're going to come up to the Music Pagoda, and this is where we saw that truck get stuck in the. The truck got stuck in the snow and the mud, right? Yeah, right here. But it is always peaceful and serene here. Really nice out here today. So earlier, ooh, she just threw a little. That's a lucky dog out there. Well, everyone has their dogs out here. This is like the greatest dog watching area ever. Ali from Iraq, welcome. So this is the bottom of the Nethermead. And the Nethermead is a big field here in pretty much the center of the park. That guy was not too pleased I was there. Yeah, no. He got his truck stuck. Sarah C, good to see you. So here's the Music Pagoda. So think of this as the bottom of the amphitheater. And then here amongst the shade of all these massive trees, this will be where the high society would enjoy the music in the shade. And then the regular people will be just beyond that. And this whole thing is angled up, creating a kind of like an amphitheater or a cup of seating areas. Today, this is where everybody brings their dogs. And if you ever want to go dog watching, this is the spot. But earlier, we were kind of halfway up this thing when we first entered the park. Already an hour ago, wow. We've been in Prospect Park for an hour already. How great is that? Now we're in the Nethermead. Earlier we were up by, we could see the memorial, where the memorial was. Memorial's right up there. But this is where everybody brings their dogs. The luckiest dogs in Brooklyn come here to Prospect Park. Yeah, Diana, from time to time the leaves shed and then new leaves are created. So it happens throughout the summer. And depending on how hot and dry it gets, the trees will release as many leaves. And people are pretty good about their dogs. I don't got to worry about poop. I really don't. So it's all good. People take care of their dogs around here, so people are rather respectful when it comes to poop and all that. Ariel's the best, Brett. Ariel's the best in the game. I hope to be financially independent as that and begin to travel. Because I know once I get traveling, it should be a lot of fun for you guys. But here's the Music Pagoda. Now we're gonna make our way into the ravine. And we're gonna walk through the ravine right now. Always clean up after your dog. I appreciate that, Wolfgang Productions. I appreciate that. So here is the bin water. This is where the water from the ravine snakes around behind the Music Pagoda and then into that waterfall we saw earlier that goes into the lull water. It's hard to imagine this is all tap water. All tap water from a pipe. But Ariel is amazing, I have to agree. I completely forgot we did that story about North Korea, I'm not gonna lie. It's my favorite video so far that we've done. One of my favorite stories in Coney Island is the North Korean ride. Absolutely, Strawberry, absolutely. All right, let's continue on. Yeah, Margie. No, it's serious. Like, you know, the Soaring Eagle is a very uncomfortable ride. Yeah, fiberglass taco, you're the meat. That's what it is. You get thrown about in that quite a bit. Oh my God, Brett, I would love to do some European streams. Lily, good to see you. Ah, awesome, LA Bree, good to see you. Glad you found me. I hope you're enjoying as we wander central Prospect Park at the moment. So the pipe it emanates, Gregory, from Turtle Pond. And we're going to make our way up almost to the source today. But they are fish. Like I mentioned earlier, yes, there are fish in the water. But there's a pipe underneath some rocks at Turtle Pond. So now we're following the ravine towards its source right now. The ravine is right here. Now we're going to follow that up. But this whole part of the park here is like kind of built into the glacier ridge now. And this is where you get 2 more decks now beginning to appear. Well, we're kind of like on the middle deck. The top tier deck is in front of us. See, there's the water right there. And we're kind of following it. Any mosquitoes yet? I've actually had a mosquito bite a couple of days back, but here at the moment around me, no. But I did have a mosquito bite. Having a little bit of an issue there, had a little bit of a signal bounce. Make sure you hit the live button on the bottom right hand side of the screen. Make sure that little red dot is illuminated red. We did have a quick signal blip. Now we're back into good signal once again. It's 8:35 in Iraq. 35 minutes past the hour all around the world. Here in New York City, -4 GMT. I want to welcome you to Prospect Park here in Brooklyn. The Central Park of Brooklyn. We're now going to walk through the Ravine area. One of the most wooded, or the most wooded area in the whole park. Here, it's been renamed recently also to the Prospect Park Woodlands. But usually when it snows, we come through this area right here. Signal blip once again, and a couple little dark spots here. May pause. And I think we're coming back into good signal-ish signal area now. Make sure you hit the live button, the little live button. Refresh the live stream. We went through a pretty bad patch of signal right there. And we are coming back into good signal territory. We're now up by the turtle ponds. And this is where the source of the water is, right here. Oh, you're more than welcome, Aiden. Aiden Caban, you're more than welcome. Let me do the walking for you, Aiden. Welcome to the show. The source of the water is right over there. Comes down through the turtle ponds. Then the ravine continues on to that waterfall that you may or may not have seen in the bad signal area over there. Off in this direction here is the picnic house. So this is how you know where we're at roughly in the park now. We're now walking along the long meadow. The long meadow is kind of like a spine, a green spine that goes along the backside of the park here. 4 times the size of the Great Lawn in Central Park. The Long Meadow is something that Frederick Lahr Olmsted and Calvert Vaux really wanted to do in Central Park, but they didn't have the space to do that, so they do it here in Prospect Park. And now we're at the top tier. We have gone all the way up the ravine, and now we're going to walk straight through the Long Meadow. Looks like we're still having a few little signal bounces here, so please be patient with the signal as we make our way through the Long Meadow. But now we're going to walk towards Grand Army Plaza and the Memorial Arch, the main branch of the Brooklyn Public Library, coming up. It's 1:41 in the afternoon here in New York City. -4 GMT, 41 minutes all around the world. Welcome to the show. June 12th, 2023. Beautiful day here in New York. Humid. Has become increasingly very humid. But thanks for bearing with the signal if you haven't tuned out. Appreciate it, everyone. Good to see you, Jerry. Welcome. It's always hit and miss with that signal by that waterfall. Usually in the winter time, we have better luck with the signal by that waterfall, but for some reason in the summertime, it doesn't want to work. Shivla Nakamuran, welcome. Yes, you can. Diana, yes, you can. It's okay. It's supposed to be humid. It's summer. We may get a very warm Mermaid Parade Sunday. Or sorry, Saturday. Mermaid Parade Saturday. Maybe 85 degrees on Mermaid Parade. I'm hoping for it to be a little bit cooler. Like a greenhouse here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But now we're just going to walk up this nice, long meadow. An engineered landscape. It is designed in a way so that water will pool and drain in certain areas. And to show how natural this landscape is, right here in the middle, is a manhole cover. This is no doubt to empty out the silt. There's like these areas that capture silt. And we shovel that out, and then we use it for topsoil for the trees. JJ, the air quality is much improved compared to Wednesday, but there's still something lingering in the air today. I know the particles, the BPM, whatever it's called, is up to past 100 again. So, like for the last couple of days, it was like around 50 and 30, which is normal, but it's back up again. Nothing too crazy though. Yeah, Wolfgang Productions. It all depends on the wind direction. And today we're getting a little bit of that smoke once again. But it's also the humidity too, is kind of adding to it. Blondie, good to see you. Welcome. Nothing's going to be like on Wednesday. Nothing's going to be like last Wednesday. But depending on the humidity, the sunshine, there's a lot of factors that play into the particulate matter in the atmosphere. So, well, Din Din, that's what they wanted. It's nature staged managed. So, it is designed in a way to look very naturalistic, but it's hard to imagine. It's all man-made. Lori, welcome. But the idea is kind of a captured nature. Now, they didn't have to move around as much rock as in Central Park. So here they had a lot more easier kind of palette to do their work in. So, but again, here they used the topography of the terminal moraine to create this landscape you're seeing. Humberto, good to see you. A little humid today? Absolutely. Absolutely. Shivalan Nakamuran, I am very aware that the new City Skylines is coming out in October. Got plenty of, saw a couple of videos about it already. I'm very aware of that. I play City Skylines quite regularly. I'm just going to perfect the original City Skylines now for the next couple of years. I'm not buying the new one anytime soon before you get to that question. Diana, I'm not worried about the gimbal. I'm worried about the phone. I don't want the phone to overheat. So I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve that I'm going to have to do in order to maintain the phone. Rivka, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you, everybody. As we walk through the long meadow, and that sun is definitely getting strong. That sun is definitely getting strong. How did Vox come to hire Olmsted? Well, no, Gregory, they were kind of paired up together by the government. So when they created Central Park, which, by the way, it was their first park they ever designed, Frederick Law Olmsted, he had the connections into the government, and so he had friends in government, really. And yeah, Calvert Vaux just happened to be around in that time, and they're kind of like, hey, this guy could help you. So they kind of work off each other, because Calvert Vaux always played second fiddle to Frederick Law Olmsted, and that's what ultimately broke up their relationship together as as co-workers or as co-creators. Because as much as Frederick Law Olmsted did these amazing things to create these naturalistic landscapes, it was Calvert Vaux who made them work. He's the one who creates the infrastructure, the bones. Now, mind you, they both do design similar projects around the world by them. Blip again. I think we had another signal blip again. There it is. Another signal blip right there. This does make the sheet metal feel very small. Yes, indeed. JC Droid, good to see you. Welcome. So we've walked all the way up that. We have walked all the way up the street. And now we're going to go all the way up to Grand Army Plaza now and into the Grand Army Arch. And I don't know if you can see it off in the distance. We're going to have an archway that we're going to go through coming up next, and that's the Ettendale Arch. Newly restored Ettendale Arch. We're going to walk through right now and then enter. We got to enter the city of Brooklyn. Because again, remember that this Prospect Park is kind of like your front lawn. You have your suburban developments off in this direction here and off in this direction here. You have your suburban developments, and then the city is over here. And that's what we're doing today. We're walking from the suburbs into the city. Lori, the park is lovely. Yes, indeed. Good to see you. But we're now going to make our way into the city of Brooklyn. And then I think we're just going to take a walk down some of those side streets and go straight through Park Slope today. They do, Diana. I think they do. And yes, we're in Brooklyn. Yes, indeed. How can there be a signal loss? Shibalan Nakamura, it's all about placement of buildings and cell phone towers. It's a very complex intermix. That's why you could have signal issues. But if you need more information about that, do a Google search online and learn how G4 and G5 signals work. We got two super chats here. And Nadine Smith with a $5 super chat. Nadine Smith, thank you so much for the very generous $5 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $5 club. Much, much, much appreciated. And Nebul with a €6 super chat. Nebul, thank you so much for the very generous €6 super chat. Thanks for joining today's €6 club. Much, much, much appreciated. Much, much, much appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for the support. And thanks for sponsoring today's live stream. G-Metroy Day asks, is this a golf field? No, this is not. This is just an open field where people walk their dogs, relax. This is just an open field. It's called the Long Meadow. But thank you so much for all those super chats. Much appreciated. But yeah, a lot of things, a lot of factors play into cell phone connections. The angle of the sun, sunspots. You know, if there's a solar storm, that also plays into it. Buildings. Here we have rock that may interfere with the signal. So Central Park is a little bit older, Brett. Central Park came about in 1858. Prospect Park came about at around 1865. 1867, the park was fully realized, but we were still building landscapes in the park as late as the 1880s. Good to see you, Majors Minis. I hope you're doing well. Everyone follow Jack over on Instagram at Majors_Minis on Instagram. A fantastic artist from Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, Friendship Lights. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, Jack. Hope you're enjoying this weather on this little bit humid day. But now we're gonna make our way into the city, I think we're gonna do Park Slope and then make our way up the coastline. Wasn't that model of the White Horse Tavern amazing? Absolutely. JJ, we have many concerts here. Look up Celebrate Brooklyn. That's the upcoming concert series, and then there's other concert series throughout the park. Yes, I have Strawberry Fields. I appreciate that. Oh no, the humidity is wreaking havoc in the 3D printers, but you're accounting for it. That's a beautiful. Well, Jack, you are a professional, Jack, to the utmost. So, hang on in there. Let me entertain you for the next few hours. Yesterday was your birthday. You're 52 years old right now. JC Droid, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, JC Droid. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Happy birthday, JC Droid. Will Fargus, good to see you. Welcome. The medals oh yeah, I could imagine. Majors Minis. Faith No More. That's awesome, JJ. Will Fargus, what happened with Fireworks Fridays? We haven't started them yet, Will. Fireworks Fridays will start on the 23rd of June. We actually already had a fireworks show. What was it? A couple of weekends ago on Saturday. We had a fireworks show. But Fireworks Fridays starting on the 23rd of June. But Majors_Minis, that's a cool Instagram right there. That is a cool Instagram. But yes, Fireworks Fridays, the 23rd of June. So the Friday after Mermaid Parade Saturday, which is this Saturday. Coconut Telegraph, we are the official live stream of the Mermaid Parade. We are the official live stream of the Mermaid Parade. There will actually be a donate link that will go directly to Coney Island, USA, the foundation, a non-for-profit arts organization that makes the Mermaid Parade happen. So we are the official live stream of the Mermaid Parade as we walk through the Ettendale Arch. Did I ever take, I could sing, did I ever take lessons? Route 440, I used to be in chorus back in the day, and I also did a radio course to help my stutter. Gets a little saucy there, yes it does. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, JJ. Mermaid Parade coming up on Saturday. The official live stream, by the way. So the obviously the live stream will not be muted at any point, so you will hear what it sounds like, and that's why you want to watch live, because maybe on the replay may not be available for the coming days after, for a few days, as we may have to resolve some copyright issues. So it's going to mute the song, and the video may be down for a day or two But after a few days, the video will be back up, and some portions of it may be muted, but it will be up. That's why you want to watch live. Aw, thank you so much, Matrix Minis. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Shivala Nagamuran asks, is my wife taking part in the parade? Yes, she is. She will be on a float, and she will be one of the many mermaids, and she will be my favorite mermaid. I'm already looking very much forward to seeing my wife in the mermaid parade. Namaste from India there, Menki. Ah, awesome, Menki. Good to see you out there in India. And look at this, people. We have something very interesting happening here. Looks like they're restoring the Memorial Arch. Look at that. Greg out there in Cincinnati, welcome. Greg asks, what's the Mermaid Parade? The Mermaid Parade is the United States' largest art parade.
I have to go back.
It's been going on since 1983. So it'll be the 42nd year or 41st year of the Mermaid Parade. But it's the United States' largest art parade. And it's meant to celebrate the beginning of the summer season in Coney Island. Do I have some water with me? No, I do not. I'm gonna have to get some a little bit later on. It's gonna be, and it's gonna be fantastic. Hopefully the weather holds. Hopefully we have good weather. But here it is from 1892. This is the Memorial Arch, and as you see, it is currently being cleaned up and restored. We have this cool brass, it's like a bronze monument on top here. This was added in the early 1900s. But the Memorial Arch going under a bit of a restoration at the moment. Oh, that's interesting. So they're cleaning it up. Right over here, the main branch of the Brooklyn Public Library. Then behind that, the Brooklyn Botanical Garden and Brooklyn Museum. This is Eastern Parkway right here. This runs along the top of the Terminal Moraine. And we're gonna walk back down the Terminal Moraine right now. As we walk down, I think we're gonna do a little bit of Union Street here. Let's do a little bit of Union Street here. Start zigzagging our way towards Brooklyn Bridge Park. Yeah, it does look like a Cristo restored. That's true, it does look like a Cristo restored. It's the arch wrapped, yeah. Or the wrapped arch. Jean-Claude and Cristo would be proud. You miss New York City, JJ? Well, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see the best of New York through the eyes of a New York City tour guide. Let's start making our way down Union here. Take this for a block or two. It's amazing how much safer they've made this whole intersection. Remember in the 90s? Not anymore. As that wind picks up, sorry about the wind noise, it's a little windy. So here we're looking down the slope that Park Slope is named after. We're going to kind of start to zigzag as we make our way through. So, oh yeah, it's windy, but that wind feels good. Mankey, you can check out some pictures I took of Coney Island while the sky turned orange, and also check out my Instagram. I did do a very short live stream on Instagram when that smog from the forest fires came in. It was scary. And watched the first 10 minutes of the truck sim chat on the next day. I had off of work that next day, and I did a truck sim chat, and I described what it was like as the city. I described what the city was like as that smog came in. Actually, let's go along here. Let's not go down Union. Let's go down this way right here. Yeah, it will be a little bit too hot with the breeze. The breeze feels really good. I'm happy we got a little bit of a breeze, but The atmosphere is a bit unstable. So this is kind of the back end, the back side of Grand Army Plaza. Good to see you, Leela. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. And some people were upset that I didn't live stream, and to those people who were upset, which by the way, it's always like people who have unrecognizable usernames always leave me the saltiest comments sometimes in my DMs. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of my health before I live stream in this. Greg asks, am I from New York? Born and raised here in Brooklyn. Wolfgang Productions, have a great afternoon and happy birthday to your daughter. Good timing for you? Awesome. I don't have a schedule, Greg, so, or JJ, I don't have a schedule. So I kind of live stream when I want to live stream. So that's why I want to have the notification bell turned on. So I kind of go on when I want to go on. Just got to kind of wander through Park Slope here. And I'll see you later there, Shimit Droy J. Great afternoon. So, right, I actually don't know what street I'm on, to be honest. I don't know what street I'm on. I was on Grand Army Plaza West, and I don't know what street I'm going on right now. I actually don't. People make a lot of demands from me all the time, so I'm kind of used to it. It's because I answer most of the comments in the chat. So all right, so we're coming up to 8th Avenue, and we're going to walk along 8th Avenue for a little bit, and we're going to turn off of, let's see, you like me more than the other ones, Greg? Awesome, appreciate that. Okay, we're on Barclay Place, and we're going to hang the right on 8th Avenue here amongst all these beautiful homes here. Some gorgeous houses right here. I mean, this is peak Brooklyn living right here. John G, you were correct. And now we're just gonna go one block over here. I'm gonna take Sterling. We gotta go on Sterling Place here. We're gonna find Sterling here. This is Lincoln Place. Let's go down Lincoln. But these are some of the best brownstones in the whole, I would say in the whole city of New York. I mean, look at the architecture here. It's just gorgeous. Really pretty homes. I mean, this is peak Brooklyn living right here. It's a little windy. It's okay, Brent. Jose Torres. Uepa, Puerto Rico. Bienvenidos, Jose Torres. And Rick Fisher, good to see you. Well, we are in a historic district, JJ, so we're in the Park Slope Prospect Park Historic District. So a lot of these buildings that are around us are landmarks, so you can't destroy them. Greg, you could just check out my replays. I talk about where I was on September 11th a lot, so I'm not going to talk about that now. Check out my replays, and I talk about that quite often. But we're going to make our way over to Sterling Place, and I'm going to show you where a terrible plane crash happened. But check out my replays, Greg, and you'll find out where I was and what I was doing on September 11th. Madam Mojo, I hope you're having a great afternoon. Hope everyone's having a great afternoon on this Monday. A lot of construction going on around here. A lot of homes being modified. A lot of construction noise here in Park Slope at the moment. Cold, wet, and rainy there. Stay dry, stay warm. Let me entertain you for the next couple of hours. All right, coming up to 7th Avenue. And let's see where Sterling Place is. It should be like right here. A lot of them are single homes, but also a lot of them have been converted into apartments. But a lot are still single homes. I would say 50-50. All right, here it is. So let's see if I could find the plaque. Let's cross the street here. Let's cross the street here. Good to see you, Picard. Welcome. I would love to live here too, but give me Bay Ridge. I like Bay Ridge. I want to be close to the water. The Brooklyn Conservatory of Music is right here. Let me see if I could remember the name of this church. Let's see if I could remember the name of this church here. Is it the Collegiate Church? Let's see. So we have two churches right here. This is where, this is the Memorial Presbyterian Church. Okay. Is the plaque across the street. Let's see. Okay, yes, there's the Grace United Methodist Church. And I think this is where the survivor, the lone survivor of that plane crash, was sent. It was right here. Because the Presbyterian Church was burning. But right here, this is where a plane crashed in 1961. It was actually one of the worst air disasters in New York City, or actually aviation history at the time. And I think the one survivor came in here. This church here was hit by the aircraft and burned right here. But a lot of these structures, Rick, are as old as the Brooklyn Bridge. So think like 1850s, 1860s. Some even earlier than that, like 1840s. That's when the city of Brooklyn really, as an independent city, really thrived. Adriana, good to see you. Yeah, this is Sterling Place. And this is where a whole apartment building, like this right here, this corner right here was the epicenter of that tragedy. And you can see just on this one corner here, there's a new building. This was an empty lot for the longest, but right here, this is where this whole building here collapsed. So obviously this is a new apartment building here. You can see all the older brownstones next door to it. And then just here on the corner, you have a new one. But this is where that tragedy happened, right here. Good to see you. Guten Abend from Germany. Sharon Dino, welcome. Oh, yeah, this is where that tragedy happened. All those years ago. 2 aircraft, a TWA Constellation and a United Airlines DC-8 collided over Staten Island, and then that United Airlines DC-7 or DC-8 crashed right here. And then the TWA Constellation, that crashes in Miller Field on Staten Island. Cliff, have a great afternoon. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for tuning on in. Let's walk straight down Sterling here. I got an itch on my back. There we go. Ooh, it's a very sad story. Yeah, 1960. Just a tragedy. Yeah, it's a terrible story there, Gregory. And one lone survivor, it was a young child, survived the tragedy, and he found on top of a pile of snow. It happened in December 1960. And they took him to that church, and unfortunately he succumbed to his injuries a few days later. Eric, good to see you. We got this beautiful, beautiful architecture that's right here. Park Slope is so nice. So right now we're in Park Slope, Brooklyn. In Park Slope. I mean, aviation tragedies have definitely shaped this city over the years. So. And now we're gonna make our way. Let's see how far down we can make it here on Sterling. Let's take Sterling all the way down. Yeah, that was a crazy story there, Adriana. Yeah, children found in the Amazon forest some 40 days after their very small plane crashed. Pretty amazing story of survival. Steve Cruz, these are all beautiful blocks, yeah. This whole area is just beautiful block after beautiful block. Well, Brett, you never know. Every now and then you'll get an artist who lives in one of these homes here, and they're like singing out their windows. It happens. I mean, I wouldn't say it doesn't happen. It happens. So we were talking about ghost bikes earlier. Here's a ghost bike. In loving memory of James Scott Zachary Gregg, killed right here. But you see these all across the city, and these bring awareness to certain automobile tragedies. Tioek, welcome. Blondie lived on Garfield Street in the 80s. Nice. The rents, Rick, are some of the highest in the city. But you are getting like, you know, like if you were to rent a floor in one of these townhouses here in Brownstones, I mean, you're getting a lot of space. You probably have access to a balcony in the back or a backyard. So, here we got another really cool church. That's the architecture around here, so nice. St. Augustine's, right here. And then MS, like a middle school here, 266. It's a little European, definitely a little European. Absolutely. It's just nice. We just crossed over 6th Avenue, by the way. We're already approaching 5th Avenue. And then we're gonna see how we get around the next couple of blocks here, because I know the grid doesn't continue on because we're going into the area of Gowanus and the Gowanus Canal area. Let's see where we end up here. I think up ahead of us was a very popular key food that I think closed down, and now they're gonna develop the whole lot up there. We gotta get around that. John Lore, good to see you. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Walking down the slope of the park here in Park Slope. Approaching 5th Avenue. Walking along Sterling Place towards 5th Avenue, going towards the west. So I've been trying to get a moving map on the live stream, so hopefully by tomorrow I'll get this moving map working. Good to see you, Timbo. Welcome. Nice area. Yeah, Lily. It's one of the nicest areas in the city. Great restaurants, great schools, all that good stuff. Yeah, this is the old, this is the office. It's dying. It's dying. Okay. I hear you, man. Anyway. This area is expensive. It's not dying. It's getting really expensive. We're gonna walk down Baltic Street now. But over here, across the street here, this was the old Key Food here that was here like forever, and now it's becoming a apartments. Ooh, look at this. It's an interesting window. That's Brooklyn. All sun-bleached stuff in the windows here. The light shop here. And then I love, you have these little mixed-use buildings here. This building has been this color for as long as I could remember. I used to have a dentist around here, not that far from here. This is 5th Avenue. Right over here used to be a Key Food, which is no longer there. Big supermarket. Supermarket with big parking lot. Now we're gonna walk down Baltic Street here and walk all the way across. Let's see where the grid takes us. Because we're gonna walk just to the south of downtown Brooklyn right now. Once we cross 4th Avenue, we are officially in Gowanus. And actually over here, I just saw it through one of these windows here, they're building a very deep pit where the Key Food used to be. So this is gonna be a very large and deep building, and tall building. It's gonna be a very tall and deep building here. Let's see if we can show you guys. Here. Look at this. This is crazy construction here in Park Slope. That is gonna be a massive building with a massive parking lot underneath. Strawberry Fields, I am always on the lookout for vintage signs. As we walk down Baltic Street here, there's like a random street right here, random little place here. We haven't even got to 4th Avenue yet. That's what's coming up next. This was an area that in the 70s was very undesirable. And then like in the 80s and 90s, started popping. Started really popping. Shivalan Nakamuran asks, is me and my wife going to the Pride Parade? No, we're not. No, I will not be covering the Pride Parade. That gets a little bit too crowded. And also on Saturday, I'm doing the Mermaid Parade. So there'll be plenty of other people to cover the Pride Parade. British Gray, good to see you, welcome. So here we see a great example of the new zoning. As we approach 4th Avenue, the size of the buildings gets a lot larger. And that's because in the early 2000s, they upzoned this corridor here. So now we have fairly large and brand new apartment buildings here. So this whole stretch here looks vastly different to what it looked like just 10, 15 years ago. It's a whole new upzoning here, the corridor along 4th Avenue here. Welcome to 4th Avenue. Join me on Saturday at 1 o'clock in the at 12 o'clock in the afternoon The parade starts at 1. The parade starts at 1. But we'll be live at 12 o'clock. So let's take a look at one of the most, probably this is one of the most, and you can see all the new construction here. This is one of the most famous views here in Brooklyn. Look at this. Look at all that upzoning as we look south along 4th Avenue. There's all new buildings right there. They upzoned this entire corridor. And then when we turn around, we look towards downtown Brooklyn here and the Williamsburg Savings Bank building. And as you see, that's what it used to look like down there, but now we got all these new buildings, like this one right here. Good to see you, Southern Pacific. Welcome. So there you get a really good idea of how development has really changed the look and feel of Brooklyn, especially in this area that I'm walking right now. Right, Jerry? It's amazing, right? You could see just like the new buildings, like they're all right here. They kind of stick out. But remember that Brooklyn, we got the space here in Brooklyn, so, you know, it could be done. Now we're making our way to 3rd Avenue. And once we crossed over 4th Avenue, we are officially now in Gowanus. See, whenever I look at development like this, I think of city skylines and how the zoning may be, spot zoning may be changed. You get the modern building with the kind of old building. Like this right here, this is like 1950s. Right here, 1940s, 1950s, maybe even 1960s. Actually, looking at the layout, this is probably 1960s. Of course I've seen Cash Jordan's video. Watch them all the time. Christine, good to see you, Christine. Hope you're doing well. Christine Tolg, a fantastic artist from Germany. And she had me as a part of her art exhibit of New York City YouTubers. So I feel very much privileged to be a part of that. And I have her piece of work framed on my wall in Coney as we speak. So good to see you, Christine. Ada Caban used to live on Baltic and Bond 36 years ago. Family still lives here. Well, if we stay on course on Baltic, we will be passing that. And I think I am going to take Baltic all the way down. So here you have the Wyckoff Gardens projects here. And now, as we cross 3rd Avenue, you get to see along this corridor here is light industrial, because behind a lot of these businesses here is the Gowanus Canal. So we're gonna kind of go along the Gowanus Canal here, or just to the north of the Gowanus Canal. Margaret, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I'm glad you're able to join me too. We're wandering the balms of Brooklyn today. So like I said, in the 40s and then really in the 50s and 60s, this was not a very desirable area. So thus you get these housing projects kind of slotted in here. But now you're talking about some of the most desirable areas in the city. Good to see you, Hala. Welcome. Oh, that's really cool. Wow. That is so neat. Wow. That is so cool. That is so neat. Tyler Silva, good to see you. So here you got some remnants here. See, like here, you can see the new construction off in the distance. But this is the old industrial area of Brooklyn. We're approaching, we're on Baltic and Nevins right now. And you can see some of these old factory buildings across the way there. The cliffs, climbing, and fitness. Interesting. So this is a climbing, an indoor climbing area over there. But now we're in a solid residential, kind of industrial, kind of mixed area here. I can honestly tell you, I have never walked this area before, so this is kind of fun even for me. Got some old brownstones off in that direction over there, but this is all this light industrial over here. This is the old industrial back area, and you can see all that new construction down the way over there. I mean, vastly changing. Then you get like one, oh, got a hotel here. Random hotel. Oh, awesome, Nibble. Thank you so much for finding the link. Have I been to the newly opened bathhouse on 3rd Street? No, I have not, Hala. No, I have not. But Nibble, thank you so much for the link. I'm going to have to check that out myself after the stream. We are discovering this together, yeah. Like I said, I have really no plan other than to get down to the waterfront. So Gotham Archery. Wow, look at that son. Look at that. CB Earth Day, good to see you. Welcome. But they do archery in here. Wow, the new Brooklyn, man. Wow. The new Brooklyn. Good to see you, Takeaway. Takawe. Absolutely, Jay Chulo. Absolutely agree. Margaret, wasn't that mural cool? And look at this vehicle here. Wow. This is exotic. Is this a very industrial area? Yeah, we're on the back end here of the Gowanus Canal. So you have a lot of light business here, kind of sprinkled about here. Got another housing project up ahead here. And I think this is going to be, I think this is Bond here. Let's see. Yep, this is Bond. So somebody's had family on Bond and Baltic. This is it right here. Yep. Nice to see somewhere new. Absolutely. It's a whole little area. Yeah, so we're just to the south of downtown Brooklyn now. It's a very interesting landscape here, to say the least. Look at that Brooklyn Tower right there. Wow. What a crazy vista right there. Oh, awesome. Yeah, Chivalon, very similar. Yeah, that's light industrial. Streets like that are light industrial. So yeah, where they had that Transformers event, that was a kind of a mixed residential light industrial neighborhood. Now we're in like a housing project area. Let's see, what's the name of these homes here? As we walk along Baltic here. It's funny, they're not, oh, these are the, of course, these are the Gowanus houses right here. So we're just to the north of the Gowanus Canal right now. And I try to pronounce everything correctly. At all times, I try to pronounce everything correctly. Yeah, this area flooded during Hurricane Sandy. Yeah. I think we had a couple of feet of water here because the water came in from the Gowanus Canal. What we got here? Hoyt. This is Hoyt Street coming up. So we're just to the north of Gowanus Canal. Now, Gowanus Canal, not a very much active canal. There's maybe only one or two businesses that actually utilize it today. But it is one of the most polluted bodies of water in the country. But now, as you see, we're coming through this housing project, going right back into neighborhoods now. We're gonna go from Gowanus into Boerum Hill, kind of on the Boerum Hill Carroll Gardens border. But you can see that new, it's amazing how you get like the old Brooklyn here in the foreground, and then you get that new Brooklyn off in the distance. Looks a little bit like Bushwick, yeah. But now it's like boom. We went through very much low-income community into one of the most expensive areas in the city once again. Absolutely. No, Margaret, we have a lot of tree-lined streets here in Brooklyn. That's what makes it so nice to live here. Kind of like along Grand Avenue, right, Jay? Yeah. Absolutely, Hala. Absolutely. Whoa, and Steve Cruz with a very generous $20 super chat. Steve Cruz, thank you so much for the very generous $20 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $5 club 4 times today. Much, much, much appreciated, Steve. Much, much, much appreciated. Happy Monday to you too, Steve. Thank you so much for the very generous $20 super chat. Much appreciated, Steve. Very kind. All you guys have been very kind with the super chats. So South Brooklyn, Gowanus, is because that's how large the city was when Brooklyn incorporated the 5 towns. And so this area was the southern part of the city. So that's what it's called, South Brooklyn. So there's a difference between South Brooklyn and then Southern Brooklyn. That's the annexed area. Mostly what's today Bay Ridge, Bath Beach, Bensonhurst, Coney Island, Gravesend, Southern Brooklyn. So now we're approaching Smith Street. Now we're officially in Boerum Hill. If I were to go further south from here, we would enter the neighborhood of Carroll Gardens. But we're going to stay right along Baltic Street here. Smith Street's one of those first streets that really gentrified in the 70s. This was one of the first neighborhoods to really get cleaned up. Mermaid Parade's on Saturday. Saturday is a Mermaid Parade. So tune on in at 12 noon on Saturday for a really fun event. I'm glad you're enjoying, Brett. I'm glad you're enjoying. So here we're looking right towards the southern end of downtown Brooklyn, right over there. So we're just to the south of downtown Brooklyn right now. And that's where we're gonna go today. Eventually we'll make our way down to the East River. But now we're back into these residential neighborhoods here. You can see now the variety of housing here. You got it's pretty crazy mix. Like this right here. This is like 19-teens, 1920s, and then right next door, probably another one from the 19-teens, maybe early 1900s. Then we have a really short one here. That's no doubt 1890s, right here. And then we have a couple of townhouses here. These are probably also, this is all 1890s right here. 1890s, 1880s right here. So the variety here is pretty cool. I mean, just a beautiful block here, right across the street from the school here. That was no doubt built in the 1950s. But look at this great architecture here. Just such a great little mix. That's right, Kirk. Next Saturday, Mermaid Parade. That's what makes New York unique, exactly. And then amongst these very short townhouses from the 1880s, 1890s, you have a modern townhouse right in the middle of it all, which is it just sticks out like a sore thumb. But you know, sometimes what happens is sometimes these townhouses will burn down, so that you have an empty palette to build on. Jazz Lady, good to see you, welcome. You see how it varies. And now we're approaching Court Street.
You want to ride down there?
And it looks like here the grid shifts again. I am the future. Pretty cool. So this is Court. Let's see, where are we going to take here? I think we'll go up a block here. Oh, Baltic Street's right up there, so we'll continue down Baltic Street here. Don't you love that mural? Me too. So this is Court Street right here. Gotta kind of zip around here once we're able to safely cross the street here. There's a bike lane here that I'm technically gonna walk in right now. I'm gonna make my way around here. This is downtown Brooklyn right here. We keep on going straight down this street, you will encounter the Brooklyn Borough Hall. And Court Street is named because at the end of that street is the Borough Courthouses. Now, we had that shopping street we were just on. And now we're, boom, right back into a nice, quiet townhouse. And we're continuing west along Baltic. Good to see you, Vanessa. You graduated from that high school over here. Awesome. Nice seeing the neighborhood. Awesome. Welcome back to the old neighborhood, Vanessa. Happy I was able to show your high school. Now, Vanessa, would you consider this neighborhood Gowanus or Boerum Hill? Let me know. Because I know sometimes the boundaries of those neighborhoods always varies by generation and when they lived here and whatnot. So I've heard this area called both, especially around Court Street here and Smith and all that. Very nice here. Right, Carroll Gardens, Boerum Hill, Cobble Hill. That's right, Bacoca. I've heard, that's what I was trying. Thank you, Vanessa, for making my brain remember Bacoca. That's right, Bacoca. I remember that in the 90s. Even though I haven't heard anyone call it that, but that's right, Bacoca. Yeah, it's kind of, it's a whole bunch, the borders, I could honestly say the borders of all those neighborhoods overlaps this area here, so as we approach Clinton Street. I think what we'll do is we'll take this down to Henry. We'll go down to Henry, and then we'll take Girolamo Street down to Brooklyn Bridge Park. Almost 3 o'clock. 2:41 here in New York City, -4 GMT, 41 minutes all around the world. It's June 12th, 2023. And we are deep in Bococa. Awesome. Vanessa, I'm happy I'm able to bring back a memory as we wander Brooklyn today. John, you have a nice day too. Thanks for tuning in. Got a whole townhouse being renovated here. Another elementary school here. Well, I like how they got those trees in the middle of the yard there. That's pretty cool. Wow. Fancy. I think now we're coming up to Clark Street. Or Henry. Oh no, this is Henry right here. Okay, so we're on Henry. We have made it to Henry. The Brooklyn Queens Expressway is a few blocks straight ahead, so we're gonna hang the right-hand turn here on Henry. But Rick Fisher, thank you so much for tuning on in. Really appreciate it. Yeah, just to the south of us, in this direction here, we're now going to parallel the Brooklyn Queens Expressway a little bit here. This is Henry, and now we're going to walk along Henry to Girolamo Streets. We got to cross over Atlantic also, so we're coming up to Warren now. Going north along Henry at the moment. But it is amazing seeing all these neighborhoods all spruced up here in the city of Brooklyn. That building on the corner right there, that's definitely 1880s. That's like a carriage house right there that they have converted for probably residential and commercial space on the bottom. And that's like 1880s. That's real old. You know, it's the charm of these old buildings that gives Brooklyn its unique look. And of course we have scaffolding here. I think I'm walking along the old Long Island Hospital here. Let's see. Yeah. Before your time, John. Before a lot of people's time watching this live stream. Congress Street coming up right now. Okay, we are approaching, I think we're approaching Atlantic. Yeah, we're about 2 blocks away from Atlantic now. would love, Brett, I would love to live in London. I would live in London or like Manchester in a heartbeat. I've always been fascinated by how you guys live out there in UK, so I would personally love to live. Look at this brand new building here just sticking out like a sore thumb. But yeah, I'm never leaving New York. There's too few of us old timers still here, so I ain't leaving. So this right here, this is the old Long Island University Hospital. I don't know what it's called today, and I don't know if it's still a hospital. I don't think it is anymore. I think if they did rebuild the hospital, it was smaller than what it originally was. But this was always a hospital here for the longest.
Let's go.
So here comes Pacific for all you old, yeah, Long Island College Hospital. Yes. Yeah, this is where you were born. Yep, Long Island College Hospital. I think it's still a smaller hospital, and it might be called something else today. But this is where Pacific Street dead ends, right here. And I really don't call the subway station Barclays Center. I still call it Atlantic Pacific. Yeah, look at this. Look at the old school sign right here. I visited Canada many times, Chevalon, and I going to visit Canada very soon. Have I covered the the Caribbean Parade on Eastern Parkway? No. And for one reason, Jay Chulo, that crowd is massive. So needless to say, the cell phone signal is not the best. So I tend to avoid the West Indian Day festival there. All right, crossing Atlantic. Once we cross Atlantic, we're officially in Brooklyn Heights. Better be not that far from Anne Hathaway's house, but this is the beginning right here. So this is the western end of Atlantic Avenue. Off in the distance, you see the Belt Parkway. We're gonna go straight here. We're gonna go straight into Brooklyn Heights. Do I remember Caledonia Hospital? You know Rouge Jones? Vaguely. I vaguely remember that name. All right, gonna cross Atlantic. Now we are into Brooklyn Heights. Привет. Welcome. Look at these old buildings right here. These are tiny. These are like literally carriage houses that were converted right here. I mean, these tiny ones here definitely have stories to tell. We're going to take Henry here to Gerolman Street coming up next. Look at this deli here. Wow, look at that signage. Wow, that's cool. Super vintage. Super vintage. Super vintage. Yeah, the townhouses here are gorgeous. This guy here is really old. These guys right here, this whole little line right here, that's really old right there. You even got the old siding on it. You don't see too much of that anymore. But let me show you the siding on this one here. This is just too cool not to show you guys. This is how you know this is like, I may even say this is 1870s here. Look at the wall here. Look at that. You don't see that very much anymore. And that's all wood right there. That's wood. And look at the back. Look at the back there, the little porch. Look at how nice that woodwork is. Yeah, you don't see this too much anymore. You don't see that too much anymore. Really? H.P. Lovecraft's apartment was a block away? Wow. John, I'm gonna have to look that up, because that's pretty cool. Beautiful woodwork. And I mean, again, we have gone from one historic district to now another. So now we're in another historic district. And this is what keeps the integrity of all these buildings the same. Get this nice variety here, which is pretty nice. And a lot of the sidewalk here, you have the old slate sidewalks that you don't see too many of these, like this blue stone here. You don't see too much of this left around anymore. And the main reason is because when it gets wet, it gets really slippery. But it looks just so great. Like this is all new sidewalk right here. But you can see a lot of these are being converted. Now a lot of these, when they're sold and converted, these are turned into single residences. So a lot of these here are just massive homes. Got nice big backyards. We're coming up to Girolamo Street. We're not that far from Anne Hathaway's house. She's around this area here. Loving the trash bins, me too. We're gonna hang the left on Girolamo Street, and we're gonna follow the crowds because all those people that are crossing the street are no doubt all going to where we're going, and that's Brooklyn Bridge Park. You dig the door on 209. Some beautiful homes around here. I want to live here too.
No drama.
But this is what the Brooklyn Queens Expressway narrowly avoided. Brooklyn Queens Expressway almost took out this entire neighborhood here. But luckily they built around the neighborhood here. And let's see, I think it's on this block or the next block coming up is our ghost townhouse. Beautiful. This is one of the best neighborhoods in all of in the whole city. One of the best neighborhoods. Look, we got a townhouse for sale right here, guys. Look at this one. Sold. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Right, old Bobby Moses almost destroyed this whole neighborhood here. All right, here comes Hicks. Wah. This is Hicks, and I think on the next block is going to be our ghost townhouse. You're more than welcome, Michelle. Of course, Hicks Street. This is where the Brooklyn Queens Expressway was originally supposed to drive through, right here. This was all going to be taken out for a 6-lane highway, but luckily we saved this whole area here. Because look at the architecture here. It's just so great. Gregory, I just said it. It's the right. This was the original right-of-way for the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. But instead they build around Brooklyn Heights. They build around the neighborhood here. Well, look at this beautiful cobblestone streets. And then right down the block here, we have our ghost townhouse here. So right coming up is going to be the ventilation shaft for the Girolamo Street Tunnel, also known as the Green Line, the 456. So this right here, can you tell which one is vacant? It's really just a facade. So these townhouses date back to the townhouse is the emergency exit to the 456, the Green Line, or actually just the 45. But this is owned by the Metropolitan Transit Authority. Hello there, Nick. Welcome. 58 Girolamo. You go down through that door right there, that door to the entrance to the townhouse, that is your emergency access way to the Girolamo Street Tunnel. Right there. Pretty cool. Of course, we picked perfect timing for the 3 or so school groups to pass us. But they film a lot on these streets right here. They're always filming stuff on these streets right here. So as you see, it just looks great. Look at a lot of school groups making their way up Girolamo Street. Of course, right when I want to show the ghost townhouses, when you get all these kids coming up the street here. And bloody hell are they loud. We had a little blip in the signal a moment ago. You might want to restart the live stream. Good to see you, Ahmed from Turkey. Merhaba. Yeah, my daily reminder. It's a lot of them coming up from the park. A whole mess of them on these narrow sidewalks of Girolamo here. Boy, they're making a lot of noise. But then again, it's a lot of kids. But now, kind of woven into the fabric of the landscape and architecture, we have the beginning of the infamous triple cantilever. The 3 decks of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway come together right here. School's going to be going on here for another couple of more weeks, Jazz Lady. A couple of more weeks. And school will be let out, finished for the session. But here it is, Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. An engineering marvel when it was completed in 1955. All right, we're on Furman Street now. And this is the structure. This is the triple cantilever. The winner of the Grand National Award, the General Motors Better Highways Award for 1961, where we have quadruple decked the street. Across the street we have the old industrial waterfront, today Brooklyn Bridge Park. Back in the day this was all like warehouses and stuff. So you have your warehouses and your nice residential apartment buildings right there. It's like right here. Everything's kind of built right next to each other. Look at that construction there, my goodness. And then the Brooklyn Heights Promenade begins right over there. And then boom, we pass underneath the highway. We have one Brooklyn Bridge Park off to our left-hand side here, and now we are officially in Brooklyn Bridge Park. Again, the park is designed in a way so that once we get to the waterfront portion of the park, the park kind of buffers the noise from the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway to the waterfront here. So a very complicated area here. And you know, Bobby Moses was able to build his highway straight towards the bridges, but not exactly the best access, but it was pretty amazing how this was all put together. Let's see here. Look at this beautiful, this is gonna be a beautiful here, beautiful presentation now of Lower Manhattan right here. Ta-da, you got Brooklyn Bridge right down there. Better Living, welcome. You made it. We have made it to Brooklyn Bridge Park. Good to see you, Lynette Jackson. I'm doing great. I hope everyone's doing great on this Monday. Okay, we're at Pier 5 here. Here is Pier 5, a proper football pitch. I don't even call it soccer, I call it football. Pier 6, right over there, that's kind of a more of like a pier with lots of trees and greenery. Look at this view of Lower Manhattan here. I mean, it really doesn't get better than this. And then between Piers 4 and 5 is a marina. Proper football pitch right here. A lot of college teams use this. Want to run like Messi, right? Yeah. This is all, by the way, this is all AstroTurf. So this is not real grass. But then look at this beautiful marina right there in the background. Really, it doesn't get better than this. And up there, you can see Brooklyn Tower peeking in. And then the Brooklyn Heights Promenade begins right over there. Yes, your dogs would love this. The luckiest dogs in all of Brooklyn come down here to Brooklyn Bridge Park. The real lucky dogs get to go to both Prosper Park and Brooklyn Bridge Park on a regular basis. Oh, we have Tom Fruin's colorful house right here. Right there. There's an old water tower. An old water tower that was turned into a piece of art by artist Tom Fruin. Right here. Ah, awesome. Aiden Caban, you're more than welcome. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching. Barbecue pits over here. Much coveted barbecuing here. Everyone comes out here for the picnics and barbecues here. First come, first serve in this picnic area here. To the Picnic Peninsula barbecue area. Real nice. And then 115 Marina. Is it really called 115 Marina? Cool. Wow. Tell you, it's definitely a lot nicer down here along the waterfront. You got Brooklyn Heights up there. And you can tell it wants, I can feel like it wants to rain. Definitely really humid. Oh, this is the one Brooklyn Bridge Park boathouse right here. You could actually borrow a canoe or a kayak for free and boat around here in Brooklyn Bridge Park, which is pretty cool.
I know he's like.
Look at this beautiful view here. Wow, you can see how low the cloud is. Wow, the cloud is just touching one Brooklyn Bridge, one World Trade Center here. Look at that.
What they're spinning.
That cloud is less than 1,700 feet high, taking out the antenna right there. That's pretty cool. That's how you know, as a person who has studied meteorology, when you have clouds like that with the sun out like this, it's very unstable air mass. Yeah, Jay, you're more than welcome. It's a lovely area. So Pier 3, it's right over here. All right, so this little park here, this little thing is Pier 4. And then Pier 3 is right over here, the next pier down. Now we'll walk around this pier here. Just walk around Pier 3. Take this in for you guys. You can tell how hazy it is. Shibalan Nakamaran, I would hardly call New York Harbor a lake. This is a harbor. And we have little inlets here between the piers. It's hardly a lake. It's a harbor. Once we get out to the end of Pier 3 here, I'll prove that it's a harbor when I show you Statue of Liberty coming up in a moment here. When, what was this, 1575, when Giovanni de Verrazzano sails into what would soon become New York Harbor, he thinks it's a lake, so he doesn't travel up what is today the Hudson River. Henry Hudson does that in 1609 and realizes that the Hudson River goes quite far up into what is today upstate New York. So it's kind of like a lake for early comers. Matuk, Makur. Absolutely, Brett. It's all good, Amy. It's a little hot. Hopefully you stay in the shade here. Welcome on into the show. Liberty Island, Ellis Island, and to the left-hand side you have Governor's Island. We'll zoom in onto Liberty Island in a second here, once we get to the edge here of Pier 3. Little breeze off the water today, Al. Absolutely good to see you. The breeze off the water feels really good. A little humid out here right now. It's 3:10 in the afternoon here in New York City. It's June 12th, 2023. -4 GMT here in New York City, 10 past the hour all around the world. Welcome into the show, everybody. Welcome to Pier 3 here at Brooklyn Bridge Park as we look out onto New York Harbor. And here she comes, everybody. Liberty enlightening the world, the Statue of Liberty. 351 feet 1 inch tall. The 7 points in her crown for the 7 seas and 7 continents of the world. The torch she is carrying is of enlightenment of democracy. Her nickname is the Statue of Liberty. Get 2 pennies together, that is how thick her skin is. Frederick Auguste Bertoli, he's the one who sculpts the Statue of Liberty. And the skeleton of the statue was done by Gustave Eiffel of Eiffel Tower fame. The pedestal is nearly half the height of the statue. Then as I move over here to the right hand side, you're going to see a building with 4 points on it. And that is the Great Hall of Ellis Island. Between 1892 and 1954, nearly 13.5 million people immigrate through Ellis Island. Most of those people go out into the rest of the country. Only about 1 in 5 actually come here to New York City. About 3 million come here to New York City, while the rest all travel across the country of ours. 1 in 5 United States citizens can trace their heritage back to that very building of the Great Hall. The Great Hall, designed by Cass Gilbert, the same architect who designs the Customs House in Lower Manhattan and the Flatiron Building on 23rd Street. In the middle of New York Harbor, we have Governor's Island. When the Dutch first settle here in the East Coast, they first settle on that small little island right there. They called it Nut Island or Newton Island because there were nut trees on that island. But then when New Amsterdam becomes New York, the British governors of state live out on Governor's Island. That's how it gets its current name. No, the breeze is giving you guys no mercy today, Jay. It's a very light breeze, but it probably sounds a lot worse on the microphone. Majors means I'm doing my best to drop all the knowledge. We have that one concrete structure on Governor's Island that is a ventilation shaft for the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. Newton Island in the lot. That's right. See here. But New York Harbor right there. And then we have Lower Manhattan right here. That's a rain cloud right there. That is a rain cloud right there. Will it drizzle here? We'll find out. Nice and breezy here. The breeze feels good. We've come all the way across Brooklyn from all the way over there. Great view of Brooklyn Tower from here. The tallest building in the whole borough of Brooklyn is right there in the center of the screen. The Brooklyn Tower is in downtown Brooklyn on Albee Square at Flatbush Avenue. Flatbush Avenue, Fulton Street right there, where the old Dime Savings Bank building used to be. It's still there, it still is there, but it will serve as a lobby to number 9 DeKalb. Number 9 DeKalb, also known as the Brooklyn Tower. We call it the Cheesecake Tower because at the base of that building is Junior's Cheesecake, one of our favorite restaurants here in all of Brooklyn. How many miles have I walked today? Probably around 5 at this point, Gregory. Probably around 5 miles at this point. We've been on now for 2 hours and 42 minutes. So probably around 5 miles, maybe 12,000, 13,000 steps right now. How old is the Brooklyn Tower? Only about a year or 2 old. It's actually not actually completed. They're still doing the interior work, so. Building is not fully opened. Some of the lower floors have begun to be occupied, but building is not completely done just yet, but it's about 2 years old. Meet the traveler. What's the structure to the left? Well, there's a couple of different structures to the left. To the left-hand side, we have one Pierpont Street. Then we have an apartment building in the foreground. I do not know the name of that building, but that's in Brooklyn Heights. So Timbo, in 1664, the British come into New York Harbor, what is today New York Harbor, with 18 ships packed to the gill with cannons. Peter Stuyvesant, the town manager of New Amsterdam, says, we're going to fight against the British, but before New Amsterdam can fire off a single cannon volley, the main business holders, or business owners of New Amsterdam give Peter Stuyvesant a petition basically saying that we're not going to lift a finger to fight against the British because New Amsterdam's rather small, it's all made of wood, very susceptible to fire. So thus, without a single cannon shot being fired, the British will take over New Amsterdam over the course of a weekend. It was a mere paper transaction. People went right back to work like nothing happened that Monday after. The British government did offer free passage back to the Netherlands for any citizens of the Netherlands to go back free of charge. Nobody takes the British up on that offer. So this is 1664. This was the old warehouse that used to be here. So we have the kind of the skeleton of the old warehouse that used to be here. And today this is all parkland. It's like a kind of a labyrinth of trees right here. This is kind of the skeleton of the old warehouse that used to be here. Pier number 3. And it's windy down here, so sorry about the wind noise, everybody. Great views here though, Brooklyn Bridge, Lower Manhattan. That's Wall Street's right there. That's Wall Street. So from here all the way down, this is New Amsterdam. And then the British era will take the city's development up to where the Brooklyn Bridge is. So in 1776, that's how big New York City is. It's just from where the bridge is today to the south. Miguel Gonzalez, welcome. More than welcome, Timbo. What's nice about, I think this is the pier where we could line up with Wall Street here. Let's see if we can line up with it. I think we could see Trinity Church if we line up with it just right. Yes, Strawberry Fields. Yes, New York City is a tidal estuary. So either ends of the East River go into the ocean. To the north is Long Island Sound, and to the south is New York Harbor and the Narrows. But this is all salt water. The only freshwater river is the Hudson River, but that begins to mix with ocean water as far north as the George Washington Bridge. Michael Wooten's watching in a big storm in Colorado. Hope you stay safe out there. Welcome on into the show, Michael. But yeah, all of New York City is an archipelago and is a tidal estuary. And actually, you can smell the seawater right now. The seawater smell is rather pronounced at the moment. This is where they had that cool piece of art. It was like a big slinky. It was right here. Like just like the island from the Bronx. Yep, it's a tidal estuary. But Michael, I hope you're staying safe up there in Colorado. Pier 2 right across the way over there. We can see the Brooklyn Queens Expressway and Brooklyn Heights on top of that, Brooklyn Promenade on top of that. The triple cantilever is right there. One of the most complicated construction sites in the whole city is right there. They have to rebuild the Gowanus Express, or the BQE Expressway right there. And they've come up with a couple of different plans for it. Look at this. Wow, look at that structure built on the roof of this townhouse. I've never noticed this. Look at that. Like a little house up there built on the roof of one of those townhouses. And those townhouses are pretty old, dating back to the 1840s and 50s. A little wooden house built on top of that. How cool is that? I wouldn't mind living in that. Probably a nice bedroom looking out onto Lower Manhattan right there. One of the best views in the whole city right there. Brooklyn Heights, one of the first landmarked districts in all of New York City, landmarked in 1961. Ironically, the same year the Triple Cantilever won the Better Highways Award. Is that awesome, Jerry? Hopefully we build the stoop. That's one of the ideas for the new triple cantilever of the Brooklyn Queens Expressway there. Hopefully they build that concept. It's a very exciting concept. And you can look that up on the DOT's website. But Brooklyn Bridge Park is truly an oasis right along the waterfront here. It's pretty amazing how we have woven the expressway into this whole area here. .321 this afternoon. 21 minutes past the hour all around the world. Is June 12th, 2023. It's -4 GMT here in New York City. 21 minutes past the hour all around the world. Welcome to Pier number 2 here at Brooklyn Bridge Park. We started our walk today way up in Prospect Park, and now we have made it to the waterfront. So Brett, a lot of the movie of the Gangs of New York is real. That a lot of that did happen, but some of the characters were kind of picked, you know, kind of like picked and chosen from different eras. So there's a couple of people who are in that movie that weren't around in the era that some of those other people were around in. So it's the history, for the most part, I would say, is like 85% real, and then there's like a good 15% where they kind of pick and choose history. But a lot of that was real. The 5 Points was a real place. The 5 Points, Tammany Hall. But a couple of characters, they were like either way before or way after when those the Dead Rabbit gangs came about. The history is kind of embellished, but for the most part it's accurate. Like I said, about 85% of that's accurate. But Tammany Hall, William Marcy Tweed, better known as Boss Tweed, these are all real characters. Yeah, 5 Points is a very deep history, JJ. Esteban Fernandez, bienvenidos. Good to see you, Esteban. Walking Pier number 2 in Brooklyn Bridge Park now. In these beautiful harbor views. More than welcome, Brett. 1,000,000 internet points for the person who knows what song I just whistled. I'll give you the keys again as we play Name That Tune. Good to see you, Les Snoset, Kia Ora out there in New Zealand. Come on, you know what song that is, CB Earth Day. Better Living, hello, welcome. I could whistle, of course I could whistle. I could sing. He could sing, he could sing, he could talk, he could talk. One of the best views, John Burke, one of the best views. Hope you have a great afternoon. No, it wasn't Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. It was something a little bit more contemporary. That was the Meow 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 song. A lovely Chinese song that stuck in my head for some reason. Look it up, everyone. It's the Meow 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 song. The song's about 4 years old, by the way. You heard that New York City had air pollution. Last time I checked Better Living, yes we do. Almost 9 million people live here in New York City. And so yes, sometimes the air quality does vary, and we did last Wednesday have an issue with the wildfire smoke coming in from Alberta, Canada, British Columbia, Canada, Nova Scotia, and Quebec, Canada. Wallpaper time, hells yeah. Wallpaper time. I mean, the top of the World Trade Center's in rain right now. Look at that. That's rain up there. Watching from the Haight-Ashbury district in San Francisco. You're more than welcome, Margaret. It's okay, JJ. That's very true, Majors Minis. That's very true. That is a great Honeymooners reference. Shell Bell, welcome. So that's just clouds. That's not smoke, everyone. That's just clouds. We got some low clouds passing through the city right now. Chivalon is perfectly fine. I know you guys are not in control of the forest fires. It's a big world out there, so no need to apologize. It happens. It's nature. Shell Bell, welcome on into the show. Hanging out here along the waterfront here in Brooklyn. Let you guys get some ASMR here for a little bit here. Let you guys just enjoy this for a bit here. Here is some ASMR here in Brooklyn Bridge Park. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get sunset today. I don't think that's gonna be happening today. Probably around sunset we're gonna get our thunderstorms. So I gotta make sure I finish up this live stream soon so I could get home before the rain comes. But I do have an umbrella. Nice relaxing sounds here at Pier number 2, Brooklyn Bridge Park. Yes, indeed. Got a great view here of the Leaning Tower of Lower Manhattan, 161 Maiden Lane. From this perspective, you could really see the lean. Look at that. Damn, you could really see the leaning from here. 161 Maiden Lane, leaning about 1.5 feet to the right. 1.5 feet to the north. 161 Maiden Lane, a big fire hazard right on the waterfront in the South Street Seaport District of Lower Manhattan. And you got One World Trade Center getting lost in the low clouds right there. Rain is on the way. Rain probably coming here in about another hour or two. We're gonna keep on going with the live stream here, because I am not to my destination yet, and I'm feeling good. Gotta get some hail in North Carolina. Please be careful there, ABX girl, please be careful. Weather's kind of all over the place. And I'm hoping that all the bad weather passes in time for our Mermaid Parade Saturday. Join me at 12 noon on Saturday for our 41st edition of the Coney Island Mermaid Parade. Please join me for the official Mermaid Parade live stream. Should be a fun one this Saturday, beginning at 12 noon. Hope we get some rain. Yeah, I hope we get some rain too. Let it rain all this week. I don't care. I actually have off tomorrow and week, which is nice. because I know next week after Mermaid Parade, I have a pretty busy week taking me right into July. Yeah, heavy rain, wintry weather in Toronto. Yes, indeed, Toronto spots. Yeah, you guys got rain up there today, right? You guys got some rain today. So pretty down here. Awesome, Brett. Enjoy the beer. And thank you so much for tuning on in. John Capola will be in Coney Island July 4th for our fireworks. That's on Tuesday this year. So yes, Coney Island. And it's 50-50 whether we will actually be at the hot dog eating contest. So don't know if I'm going to be covering that just yet also. It's pretty amazing how much this waterfront has really came together here. It's pretty incredible. 'Cause I remember when none of this was down here. Thank you so much, Jay. Your day off this year? Nice. Yeah, I'm planning to take off that Tuesday and Wednesday because from what I hear, I have a very busy July coming up. Yes, this is a relatively new development, about 10, 11 years old. The first section the first section of Brooklyn Bridge Park opened up back in 2009. So this whole area started coming together over the last 10 years. And I can't believe I'm saying 10 years already. It's pretty incredible. But this is the old working waterfront of Brooklyn. So when the movie's like On the Waterfront starring Marlon Brando, this is the waterfront right here. I tell you, that humidity is really ramping up. Yeah, they got to determine. Yeah, Neil, I hope they go with a 6-lane configuration just so they could future-proof the highway, because if they cut it down to 4 lanes, it's not going to be good. In order to build a proper 6-lane configuration, they got to get a variance to go over Furman Street. So it's got to come straight out. So for the people who live in these buildings right here, the highway's got to back right up to their building, which, you know what, too bad. They have great views. Those buildings are they already have sound suppression on the highway side, so they should be fine. But yeah, they gotta really work that in properly. Yeah, city skylines planning, kind of. And now we're making our way. This is the Squibb Park Bridge. Visit some of my vintage videos and look for the bounciest bridge in Brooklyn. And the original version of the Squibb Park Bridge bounced rather tremendously. And we walked it when it used to bounce. Shibalon, I wrote it back here in 1993. Shibalon Nakakumuran. I'm very well aware of the signal as we go back into a bad signal again. Signal really struggling through that part of Pier 1. A great view indeed, JJ. Sorry about the signal, guys. I am very well aware of my signal. That's why you see a graphic on the lower right-hand side of the screen. I do have signal indicators on my end, so no need to write in the chat that there's a bad signal. I'm very well aware of it. Actually have multiple signal indicators. And now we're coming back into the green. Yay! Now we're good. Make sure to restart if you're behind on the chat. Yeah, we keep on losing the top of One World Trade Center. There it is, the 140-year-old Brooklyn Bridge, right there. Beautiful sight. You can feel like the rain's gonna come in. Definitely humid, and wind is getting a little bit, picking up a little bit here. So definitely gonna rain. Exactly, Neil. Awesome, William. Come on out. Come on out to Brooklyn. Let's see what NYC ferry is going out here. Let's see. Which boat is it? The River Sprinter, everybody. The River Sprinter, making its way over to Pier 11 Wall Streets. That's a cool name. The River Sprinter. Does the bridge have any local nicknames like the old trusty bridge? Nah. We just call it the Brooklyn Bridge. And actually, Brooklyn Bridge it's technically a nickname. The original name of the bridge was the New York and Brooklyn Bridge. They used to supply Brooklyn and New York. We got William hanging on out. I like this. He has a beer.
Once again.
Hey, once again.
I didn't even see you on the thing.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, man.
How you doing, man? Yeah. This is perfect beer drinking weather, William.
No, I didn't even. I got the notification. I don't even know. William Brooklyn is checking in.
William Brooklyn checking on in.
All right, William.
Good to see you, man. Enjoy your break. There's William, everybody. Good to see you, man.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Enjoy the beer.
Thank you.
No, I'm good. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. There's William, everyone. Friend of the channel. We always see William down here in Brooklyn Heights. I'll have me a beer when I get home. Brooklyn Brewery is still here. Yes, Brooklyn Brewery is up in Williamsburg / Greenpoint area. We have the Brooklyn Brewery. We have the 6 Point Brewery over in Red Hook. And then we also have our Coney Island Brewery over in Coney Island. I'll see you later. Shivalon Nakamuran. Have a great day. We are almost done with our journey today because I am going to be finishing over by Jacques Torres because my wife deserves some chocolate covered pretzels. So I'm gonna go get some chocolate covered pretzels right now after the stream. Friendly guy. Timbo Williams, a great guy. Very friendly, very nice guy. He actually gave me a beer once on a live stream as a gift. So really do appreciate that. I have some of the nicest viewers and I'm very, very privileged and blessed to say that. So you guys really do make the live stream. And Toronto Spots with a 220 Canadian super chat. Toronto Spots. Thank you so much for the very generous $2.20 Canadian. Thanks for joining today's 220 Canadian club. Much, much, much appreciated, Toronto Spots. Much, much, much appreciated. Thanks for sponsoring today's live stream. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. And thank you so much for the very generous 220 Canadian super chats. You guys are being awfully kind today when it comes to these when it comes to these super chats. Oh, Lori, I'm fit. I'm good. I'm a healthy camper here. I'm not sore, I'm not tired. My feet hurt a little bit, but that's because we've been walking now for 3 hours and 12 minutes. But I mean, I do lead bicycle tours for a living, so. But yesterday, I was supposed to cover the Sunset Park Puerto Rican Day Parade, but I was feeling a little bit under the weather yesterday. Needed a day just for myself and my wife, so we kind of hung out, strolled the boardwalk for a little bit, had a ride on the Wonder Wheel, and then we headed home, chilled out. It is beautiful over here. Matuk, it is beautiful. Right over there, Brooklyn Ice Cream Factory. That's where they filmed Bananarama's Cruel Summer music video, right there. And then this is Old Fulton Street right here, and now we're gonna walk underneath Brooklyn Bridge, and we have a little bit of an art piece here, which is called the Photoville, coming up next. Yeah, Mental Health Day, John, yes. Yeah, no, I had to take a day off yesterday. Kind of didn't want to be in like crazy crowds or anything like that, so I just kind of took it easy with my wife yesterday. But now I'm back. We're back better than ever. And another 220 Canadian super chat. Toronto Spots, thank you so much for the 440 Canadian super chat. Thanks for joining today's 440 club out there in Canada. Toronto Spots, much, much, much appreciated. Much, much, much appreciated, Toronto Spots. Thanks for sponsoring the live stream again with another 220 Canadian super chats. Much appreciated. So here we go. Into Photoville we go. Let's slowly make our way around Photoville here in Emily Warren Roebling Plaza. I have to say, some of the subject matter here at Photoville is a little bit adult. What do we got going on here? Safeguarding New York City health. Oh, wow. So this guy right here, he's testing the water. This is Wall Street right here. We just saw this building. This building is still there. This white building here with the setbacks. So this is Wall Street. He is taking a water sample right here. Yeah, we were here on Saturday. We were right here on Saturday. Wow. So this is like vintage pictures here of New York. A social worker in Paris, right here. And then right here, this is Homer Page, 1959, safeguarding New York, safeguarding health in New York City right here. William, you're awesome too, man. And then migration and health right here. Wow. Pretty neat. Wow, so this is all done by the World Health Organization right here. Here's safe water, drinking water in Sri Lanka. Right here. Wow, this is pretty neat. And William Droneberger with a $5 super chat. William, thank you so much for the very generous $5 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $5 club. Much, much, much appreciated there, William. Can't wait to come back to New York. I can't wait for you to come back to New York and maybe walk the Brooklyn Bridge. Thank you so much for tuning on in and enjoy the big $5 super chat. Much appreciated there, William. Much appreciated. Thanks for sponsoring today's live stream. These pictures here are bringing awareness to the invasion of Ukraine. Pretty serious pictures here. She's learning how to hold a weapon here. Wow. Wow. Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, very scary. Scary situation here. I mean, some of these pictures, I have to be honest, some of these pictures like this one right here is legit. Like this is like straight out of World War II. But this is today. Very scary indeed. Very sad indeed. Millard Thompson, happy Monday. Good to see you. Welcome. Now we were looking at this on Saturday. Let's look at this again because this is one of my, this is a little bit more lighthearted photo essay here. This is the South Korea animal cafes. And we have here an animal cafe that features, this features sheep. And then this one here features meerkats. And then down here, this one features 60 lynx, the Sphinx cats. But then this is the one I want to go to, the Raccoon Cafe. This is the one I really want to see. And then there's a Turtle Cafe and a Wolf Cafe. I gotta go to North Korea. Or I mean, I gotta go to South Korea. South Korea. I gotta go to South Korea. But Photoville's going to be up for the next few more months. So if you want to check this out, as you see, it's absolutely free. But there's more of these kind of container exhibits. And they're open. Well, it's closed on Mondays, but from Tuesdays to Sundays they're open. There are the hours. Right there. A pretty cool art here. Here at Photoville. It's going to be here until the 18th, so it's going to be here until Sunday. So you have until Sunday to check this out. This is a Best Western in Mammoth Hot Springs, Gardner, Montana. Wow, that's a crazy picture. Then right here, here's a camel farm in the United Arab Emirates. Wow. Tell you, photography, I always love photography. It's like a painting here. Wow. Wow, some of these pictures are amazing. Sundays in Harlem. This is a church on 134th Street back in 2019. And right next door to it, Sheila at Home by Kira Joy Williams. Great picture. And then Jeffrey Henson Scales did this photo here, in a time of Panthers, early photography. Then we have Gretchen Ufel Hemlock Bluffs Nature Preserve in North Carolina. Wow. Always got to enjoy the art. Yeah, that bus exhibit was awesome, William. It got a little crazy crowded. I don't know why people brought toddlers to the event, but they did. But it was fun. But between the toddlers and the teenagers, who we like to call foamers, foaming at the mouth at these vintage buses, kind of took away from the experience, to be honest. It was a little annoying, but I was happy to document a little bit of it. But there's my office. The Brooklyn Bridge. Right there, baby. My beautiful bridge. Yeah, I don't know why people bring toddlers to bus events, but they do. Here are some statistics of the Brooklyn Bridge. Now you know how long it is, how wide it is, how tall it is. The main span, the clearance below. There it is, everyone, the 140-year-old Brooklyn Bridge. I feel like the rain is about to come in. By the way, here is the great, without her, the bridge wouldn't be built. The great Emily Warren Roebling right here. That's right, you'll never know what you'll see on the Dutch Ma's family of networks. Absolutely. You never know what you're going to see. ICU Investigations. Well, and Mullen, good to see you. That's right. Try to be the best, except no substitutes. And there's plenty of substitutes. Now we could, you know what? Now since there's less people here, we could really enjoy this, which is a lovely photographic exhibit of Brooklyn Bridge. So here, Brooklyn Rapid Transit Inspectors is inspecting the spacing of the trolley cars at street level. This is March 3rd, 1914 here. So before there was Cadman Plaza, it was this whole rabbit warren of trolley tracks, elevated tracks terminating, and trolley sheds. So before Cadman Plaza, it looked like this. It was kind of crazy and chaotic. Certainly has come a long way, but in the background there you see Manhattan Bridge. Then we get this amazing picture here. This is a view from the car lane looking towards the pedestrian bridge. And you have men on the cables right here. And this is July, that's not correct. Let me see. Really? Okay, this is another one from 1914. So both of these pictures here are from 1914. And then below it, this view right here, this is 1950, March 1st, 1950. And you see all the new construction happening down there. And then right here, this is 1963. And this is from the Manhattan side looking towards Brooklyn. We just walked along the waterfront right there. I love this exhibit because it shows my bridge. So this is the pedestrian path being built right here in 1883. And then the bridge's 50th anniversary, May 24th, 1933, right here. And it's the ribbon cutting ceremony for the bridge's 50th birthday. And then above here, this is an illustration of what the fireworks show looked like. So I have done a lot of research on the opening ceremonies of the Brooklyn Bridge. And the fireworks show is by far the most crazy story. There was a promoter. He was one of the main shareholders of the New York and Brooklyn Bridge. And he wanted to have a proper, spectacular firework opening for the Brooklyn Bridge. So over the years, something like for like 4 years, he stockpiled fireworks. And he acquired some 14 tons of fireworks in that time. And from what I have read, the fireworks show wasn't exactly coordinated. They kind of just, whenever they had fireworks ready to go, they kind of set them off. And for something like 3 hours, there was a fireworks show. 14.5 tons of fireworks were released from the bridge in a fireworks show that lasted nearly 3 hours. And from what I have heard about that fireworks show, from what I've read, it was very beautiful, stupendous, chaotic, and dangerous experience. And here's the craziest part of it all. The bridge stayed open to traffic the entire time. So there were people walking the bridge, there were people in horse carriages going across the bridge. It was a complete incredible sight. And boy, I would give anything to see that. I would give anything to see that. Right down here, we have construction of the Brooklyn Bridge when they were doing the cable work here. This is 1880, so this is 3 years away from opening day. And we walked right down there just now. We were just right down there at Fulton Ferry Landing. So freaking cool. Here's our classic Brooklyn Bridge here picture. So this right here, this is from 1900. And then when the bridge turned 100 years old, here's what it looked like in 1982. My beautiful bridge. I love my bridge. Now here's something great. Here's the anchorage here. I don't know if this is on the Brooklyn side or on the, I think this is the Manhattan side here. Anchorage here that was being built, and the cabling is still being done. But you see the roadway is not even built yet. Here's a architectural drawing of the bridge. This is the caisson work right here. Here you're looking at the Manhattan caisson. In the distance, you have beginning to rise the Brooklyn Tower. So these are the caissons that created the foundations for the towers of the Brooklyn Bridge. And then here's the old configuration looking towards Manhattan. You have the elevated train cars and trolleys going over the bridge. And look at how well dressed the people are. They had style back then. But the Brooklyn Bridge turning 140 years old. It's pretty amazing. I would give anything. I wish I was there for the 100th anniversary, John. I was only 3 years old though. Heard there was a fireworks show in 1983 also. I kind of wish there was a birthday for the Brooklyn Bridge still, but not any events really happened a couple of weeks ago. Card, good to see you. Welcome on into the show. Manhattan Bridge, off in the distance, right over there. And now we have come up to Jane's Carousel. So Rush Fan, as John Roebling described when he made his initial pitch for the bridge, John Roebling said himself that with proper maintenance, the bridge should last around 1,000 years. And I think he's right, because the bridge is over-engineered quite a bit. Parades and fireworks were awesome. Nice. Well, we have made it, everybody. We have made it to Brooklyn Bridge Park, Jane's Carousel. Jeanette Trainer, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, maybe somewhere on YouTube. Just thinking 10 years. I know, in 10 years, I know we're going to have that. And I will be here for that. And God willing, I will be live streaming that event, if there is one. Belmar Beagle, good to see you. There was a celebration you watched from a terrace in Lower Manhattan. Nice. Yeah, you guys were there for the 100th anniversary. You're more than welcome for the walk, Colleen. Did you like this tour? I hope you did. If you liked our little walk through Brooklyn today, make sure you hit the like button. And more importantly, subscribe to the Dutch Moz family of networks here on YouTube and on Instagram. All same name, at Dutch Moz. And if you do subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, because I never know when I'm going to go live next. But from Brooklyn Bridge Park, here in the great borough of Brooklyn, have a great Brooklyn day, whether you live here or not. I want you to hug your loved ones. Cherish those sweet moments. And good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. I will See everybody tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great day. Ta-ta to you guys. Ta-ta to you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.